All righty. Where are you? There you are.
We're about to admit a couple of
Meeting is.
folks.
Oh wait, you're admitting
Oh,
just people in?
yeah, we're gonna go
Oh,
for it party style.
Oh no, you got to go one at a time. Who's Penny?
I don't know.
All right.
And we are live, and we've already been joined. Dave, we've already been joined. Can you believe it?
Wonderful. This gentleman looks somewhat familiar to me. I've seen him once or twice before.
how you guys been?
He runs a bathhouse in the greater Toronto area.
Just one?
What is all he
Oh, yeah.
needs?
He's
We
the guy
have
that
someone.
doesn't pay.
Yeah, and we have someone here without a
Yeah.
camera that goes by the name of Penny. Penny,
And with no
do you happen
microphone either. You got to nix it.
do you happen to be there? I just did the unmute thing, but nothing is happening. So I have a feeling there's something wrong there. Unmute. Penny can't be unmuted. Hack, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing, John?
But you can kick that out of the
doing
room
good.
so we get somebody in here that can.
That's what we're gonna do. Sorry, Penny. I
Yeah,
don't know
go
what's
one at a
going
time.
on.
One at a time in here too. Let's
There we go, folks.
All right.
We are live. This is our very first caller taking show. Caller, what can we do for you?
Hack, welcome to the show. How are you, sir? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm good, Dave. How you been, man?
Good. Very good. Just been dealing with life. Lots of stuff, but whatever. It's good.
That's good.
Yeah, man. Yep. Same
It's
thing
good.
over here. Lots and lots of free time.
Yeah.
Now, Hack, do you have any you should we're supposed to be receiving questions, but do you have any gigs coming up? Have they given you guys like a window of when you're back out in the free world, or is this
So, no, we don't. We have no idea. But the places that have canceled, not all, but a good majority of them have said we'll have you back as soon as we open up again. So, we
so
got.
those places haven't heard your band yet?
That's right. I'm here all week. Try the veal. No, we'll have stuff to do, but right now they're just talking about opening certain businesses here in the next week or so.
Yeah.
So it's going the other way. So the big deal is, as you know, right? It's all about getting a lot of people in one space.
Right.
And I don't know when that's going to happen, where bars can have an audience and people show up, and
Sure.
that's the thing. I'm hoping by September. I got my fingers crossed. But
Can I
who
ask you? Let me ask you a
knows? We'll have
question.
stuff to do, but right
you're
now,
What is going on? I'm hearing a double.
Yeah, I had to shut something off. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
okay.
So, Hack, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that by the time lockdown is over, you can get those Gibsons in tune?
This is unbelievable.
This is why you guys invited me? Is this?
I have one too. I have one too. It doesn't stay in tune. It just is what it is.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's that dastardly G string, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's it.
Mhm.
Now, is that a Music Man that I see behind you? The very first headstock? What is that?
This is the Ernie Ball Music Man Access Super Sport.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So is the Super Sport the non-locking trem? I can't see it. It's not in frame. Yeah,
Okay,
non-locking
yeah.
trem.
So
Cool.
you have a trem on it. I have no locking nut. This
Yeah.
is their proprietary trem, which works really, really well.
Sure.
I mean, this thing doesn't go out of tune, and I can, But what's cool about this over what you're describing as the Access? What's cool about this is I've got a 5-position switch here, which allows me to play, single coil, humbucker, all the combinations. This is way
Sure.
more versatile. It's a great guitar, man. Ernie Ball makes damn good stuff.
Yeah. DL, you ever have an Ernie Ball?
No, I've never really. The necks are a little small for me. They're a little narrow, and so I tend not to care for them. But they're really well made. I do have an Ernie Ball bass. I have a Sterling Classic USA that I love,
Sure.
and I think they make the best basses in the bass world there as far
Sure.
as the Fender style bass.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think they only come available like across the line. They come available with 1 5/8 inch nuts, which is like that old school Fender nut. Which, if you're into it, you're all set because they have great neck finishes and everything. But it is weird that across the whole line you don't see them doing like a 1 11/16 like a Gibson. That would make me a lot more tempted to get one because they are cool.
It's kind of weird that Fender doesn't really much. I mean, I think they do one or two. I'm not sure if Eric Johnson's is, but I think there's a few Fenders that come with a wider,
Mm.
but nothing wide.
What's the other thing about this is like it's a bird's eye maple neck, and the finish there is really no. Well, they call it a gun oil finish, whatever that is.
Right.
Right. It's gun
But it
oil.
feels really, really nice on this. And it's funny you mentioned the necks. Like I can go from a Strat to a Les Paul, and you kind of adjust instantly. This one takes a minute because this neck is vastly different than the other two.
Mm.
Yeah. So gun oil is it's gun oil. It's like True Oil. It's just an oil that's used to treat wood.
All right.
Give it a protective coat. It's got, I think it has wax in it. It's like oil and wax, and that's what's used, and that's what that is.
Yeah, they feel great.
It feels
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Then you've got another maple neck guitar too. It looks like a Strat.
That is a Strat. Yeah, that's just standard before they went nuts and called them professionals and charged more.
Right.
So
Well, they've changed. Feels like that series has changed its name 10 times in the last 10 years. I remember probably before 2008, it was an American Standard, and then it was an American Series, and then it was back to the new American Standard. And what is it now? The new American Professional?
there's a professional, which is kind of replaced that, and then they have the elite, and now they also have the ultra, which has got that cutaway.
Mm.
So, yeah, that's like their highest level right now of Fender. I think in the Strats, anyways.
There's a
Sure.
lot of stuff coming out of that factory these days.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
doing the Charvel stuff, the Jackson stuff.
But
Now, there's a
Great
few
Rich.
people in the chat. I just want to say if anybody has any questions for John or I, the Zoom link is here, and you can come in the room and
Yep.
chat with us for a bit. And so I don't know, Tom, if you want to pop in, you can Zoom right in with us.
Yeah, man.
Just
Yep.
click the link into Zoom or use the Zoom code. Just say join a meeting. Put the 986-757-6672 in there. And that's it.
Before this broadcast, we should have listened. We should have watched a few episodes of Frasier so that we could have got the shtick right, so that we could call people out. Hey, Seattle, call in.
If you're calling west of the Rockies, dial 1-800.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
So, big news out of Canada today. You guys are facing some tragedy up there, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't watched the news today. What happened?
Oh, really?
No.
It's like maybe it wasn't today. I saw that there was like a 22-person shooting that happened. In Nova Scotia.
That's
Is
that's a week ago.
Oh, that's old news.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
bad.
2 people. Like it was.
All right, folks, don't ask me about the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he came out and said something about he's trying to ban a certain kind of gun up there now.
Yeah. Assault rifle.
We'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah.
Assault rifle. That's a real
It looks like we got some people in the peanut gallery, but nobody calling in yet. I don't want to zoom. Tom Knight doesn't want to zoom. Emily's here. What's up, Emily?
Hey, Emily.
Yeah, so I Hack, if you see behind me there, buddy, I traded in my Mesa cab for an older Marshall cab.
Oh yeah.
Back to the vintage 30s I go.
Vintage, are you is that your speaker of choice? Is the Vintage 30?
It depends on the amp. I think different amps pair with different speakers better. I don't love the Dirty Shirley with greenbacks unless it's turned up really loud. And how often am I playing that loud? It's just not that often. But it has a tendency to have a little bit more bite, and it sounds a little more aggressive when it uses vintage 30s.
So let me ask you something, John. When you go and gig, are you taking that? So it looks like that's a 412 behind you, right?
Yeah.
Are you taking that 412 with you? Are you able to actually use that thing on stage and give it a decent push? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, usually. But
That's
I mean, the few places that we gig are a little bit bigger. We're not really doing bars and stuff like that. So
Okay.
if that was the case, I definitely wouldn't be able to do it. But like when I do the Elvis gigs, if I'm doing that, those are always bigger because the band is so large. It only goes in bigger venues. And then if I'm doing the cover band thing, we have an arrangement with one of our local venues that's strictly a music performance venue. And it's a bigger room as well. So we'll go out there with half stacks and the bass 8x10 and all that. And we're not driving them to their potential. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
definitely looks cool.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end of the night, when I have to take it and put it back in my car, I'm like, why did I do this?
First. Oh, I always love when people say, "What if we only want you for 3 hours instead of 4?" I'm like, it's the same price. You're paying me to schlep my gear, not to play. I play for free.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's the schlep that you're paying me for.
What amp are you playing when you go out, Hack?
It kind of like what you were saying. It depends. Like if I'm playing like a small bar, I've got a DSL 40 Marshall combo that I take out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I throw a mic in front of it, or not, depending if it's a small
Sure.
enough place. If it's a bigger place, like a banquet hall type of idea, then I'll take a 212 cab, and then I've got two heads that I kind of swap back and forth. I'll either use I got a Hughes and Kettner 36 watt Tube Meister, which I
Sure.
love. And I also have another less expensive Marshall Origin 50 that I'll take out. So it's one or the other.
How is that amp? Because I know that's like that's a newer product for them. I've never played one.
I'm going to say a year, maybe 2 years ago. No, it was
Yeah.
last year it came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
'cause
played one.
You've never. Yeah, it's basically it's a low gain amp. It's basically a one channel low gain amp. It's modeled after the Plexi. It's AC/DC basically. If you crank it, that's about as heavy as you get. And it's a great pedal platform, which is what really all my amps are at the end of the day. So yeah, I like it. It's got that Marshall thing, right? It's got that deep throat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got that thing, right?
I do.
Linda Lovelace.
Yeah, that's it. As soon as I said those words, I'm like, I'm in trouble.
Deep throat.
The 40. Are you familiar with that amp, John? The DSL 40, because that is based on.
Are you talking
It's
about the
actually
newer?
more based on the DSL 50 that you have, as opposed to the original DSL 401s, which were.
Okay.
They were the 40 watt DSL JCM 2000s, but they had 4 EL84s,
Yeah.
and his is the 34s.
Oh, okay. So the new DSL 40C has 34s in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You know what? The 34s and the 84s always, I get the two confused. The 34 is the bigger tube, right?
Right. Yeah. 84 is like the Vox tube.
Okay, I got the 34s in that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You have two. It's two big power tubes.
I
in
got
Mm-hmm.
that.
two of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 12AX7s for the green.
Wow.
I mean, the difference between a 40 watt and a 100 watt is so minimal. People think there's a huge difference. I mean, the difference between, I think, a 50 and 100 might be 3 dB. It's not much.
Right, and that's if all things are the same.
Right.
Dave Friedman was talking about this not long ago, where he was talking about, well, it's all, it depends on Whether it's this or that or half ref, blah, blah, I don't know. I can't even speak
He
the
said all
level of
that.
elbow. He did, yeah. It wasn't that poignant, folks. Hey, so did you guys happen to see the video that I just posted with this thing in it?
I did.
No, I did not. Sorry.
I did. You know
Whoa.
what though? I have to say,
This thing
I
sounds
like
good.
the sound of the Marshall better.
Yeah, I'm with you, but in a pinch,
No, it's yeah.
this thing's ridiculous.
Okay, can
This
you
is
let me know what is
freaking
that thing?
awesome.
I've never
This is
seen.
it's called Amp One, and it's from a company called Blue Guitar out of Germany.
Right.
I mean, this thing, like, look at this. It weighs nothing. It's like 2 pounds, and it's 100-watt Class D.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like 4 different channels built into it. There's a clean, vintage, classic, and modern, so you can switch between those. And then this button here will allow you to switch between the clean and then any of those 3 levels of gain that you want to do. Built-in boost, built-in reverb switch, and then like a full complement of amp style controls. Now the crazy thing about this, and the one thing I always say about modelers is, Class D generally you listen to it. It seems like it's always like loud, but never loud enough to beat up on a tube amp or get you where you need to be if you're playing in a room with a guy using a tube amp. This thing is louder than I couldn't believe it. It's super loud, really drives the cabinet. And yeah, God, if you were looking for a gigging amp that weighed 2 pounds and it was just going to sit on your pedal board, I mean,
You know what the
literally,
difference
all you
was
do
to
is
me
yeah, go ahead.
when I watched your video? Not only was the Marshall one just to hear more scoop, that one had a little bit more mid, too much for my taste, but the Marshall had a natural compression that I felt that amp didn't have. You could have added it. You could have, in other words, at the end of the day, when you're doing your demo of it, I think you could have done things to the Blue to make it sound like the Marshall, and if you had
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
It's not identical, but it's close enough to where, like I said, if you were just carrying a pedal board to your gig, and that's all, and you were just like, I'm just gonna run into a backline 212 or 412 or whatever. I mean, you're done. You don't have to worry about blowing a tube in your head or anything. It's just things definitely got enough power, and it sounded pretty good.
Are you guys familiar with
Talking
the
like $700, I think, as
Oh,
opposed
wow.
to,
Yeah.
$3,000 Friedman or whatever.
Are you guys familiar with Vox? They came out with the same sort of idea, very small,
Yep.
with their new tube technology.
Yep. I
Have you
worked
ever
for
tried-
Vox when that came out.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of those? Well, they had 3 versions, right? They had
That's
a
an old
clean-
one.
The original was 3, and then they expanded it a year later and made 3 more, I think.
Okay.
So there was the original version. There was like what they called the clean, the AC, and the rock.
Right.
And then they expanded it to include a metal and something else. But
I think the clean was the MK50. Is that correct?
they were all called MV50.
Or MV50? Okay, well,
Yep.
the clean. All right.
Yeah. So it was just like MV50 clean, MV50 AC.
Oh,
blah, blah,
okay,
blah.
okay.
So my other guitar player, believe it or not, came to rehearsal one day with the rock version of it. He picked it up on Craigslist for like $90. Plugged it into a 412 and played our whole rehearsal with that thing. It totally carried weight. I was like, what? Sitting here with my $3,000 amp, and he's coming in with a $90 Craigslist purchase that is loud enough and full enough to where nobody was like, "Oh, don't ever do that again." It's just shocking.
Well, I got a funny story about the clean one. A guy in the band, he bought one just because he got one like for cheap, and he's like, I'm gonna bring this to every gig in case we have an issue. Here's my backup. Beautiful, right? So we went, did a gig, and it was a ways like an hour and a half away from my house. And like an idiot, I get there, started loading the car, and what do I forget? I forget my amp head, right? So I'm like freaking out. He's like, well, here, use this thing. I played the whole gig with that little thing.
Yeah.
Pedals on it and everything. It was fine.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
So you look at a 212 cab on the side with something that looked like, might as well have said Fisher Price on it, this little toy thing on top. And I
Yep.
did the whole gig with that. It was fine.
It's
They're
amazing.
good, man.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah. Kind of makes you wonder, eh?
Well, I mean, if you
For
go and
sure.
if you know the tunes and you're playing right. I mean, I always say every amp's kind of similar. Did you see? Well, first of all, the two things. Somebody in the chat. Let me just take a look who that was. I think it was Tom Knight is asking about. Do we think that people will go out to gigs once the the thrill of it dies down again? I think that people will go out. I think people are really starting to rebel in certain cities about wanting to get out of the house, and I don't think people are that afraid of it anymore.
Yeah.
So I do think for that it looks good. It's just going to be restaurants and things like that getting back on their feet, you know.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No. Go ahead, please. I didn't have a complete thought.
I was just going to say, I think that we're going to experience somewhat of a rock and roll renaissance. There's going to be a little something. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm talking to all of my larger e-commerce customers on a daily basis. And you wouldn't believe the amount of orders that we're taking right now for stuff. All of these guys are saying our e-commerce business is like through the roof right now. People are buying a lot of musical instruments.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting at home, they're bored, they want to do something, and a lot of them are taking the opportunity to learn how to play music. So heck, pretty soon you're going to have a lot of stiff competition for those bar gigs.
Word.
No, I don't know.
I'll be
I'm just joking. But no, I think there will be a lot of people out there who are going to be playing music, and if not interested in going out, I don't know. Maybe they'll all be. Maybe this will become the new thing. Although I got to admit, I haven't watched one Zoom concert live. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I haven't either.
I watched any of it. No.
I see a lot of people doing that. Oh, well, I'm going to stream my set, and they're doing it from their living room. Not for me.
Yeah.
No offense, folks.
The other talk too is, like I'm looking at the used market, and everyone is saying there's going to be a point where all those price, like Reverb and those prices are going to come down. I haven't seen that yet.
No, me either. I was fully expecting it.
Yeah, everybody is. Wait, no, the deals are going to come, but 8 weeks into this, nothing yet. So
maybe it's coming around this next couple of weeks. I have seen a lot of moving trucks in my neighborhood.
Oh, really?
I would say
people
so,
moving
yeah.
out, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
People taking off out of the old neighborhood.
I think that the rent thing is going to be a big problem in a handful of choice American cities. I don't know how it is up there, but we're going to experience some people leaving the really, really expensive places because a lot of people have a hard enough time paying their monthly rent, let alone trying to catch up 2 or 3 or however many months that they're going to miss. I mean, in LA, they're giving you a big padding. It's like a 12-month span, which you'll be able to, make up your past rent that you miss. But there's going to be a lot of people that still won't even be able to do it over 12 months. So, kind of sucks, but that's why I was expecting to see Craigslist kind of like tank prices.
Yeah. As far as what Tom is asking, I just want to say I think it's going to be a much slower build up than it's not going to be like the bars are packed and then it'll die down. I think it's going to be a slower build up back to more of a slower, busier. I think 2021 will be probably a fantastic year as far as economically with people out of the house, and the end of 2020 as well would be my guess.
It could be that, or people could be like you said, they're already kind of freaking out, just chomping at the bit to go out. And as soon as they get the green light, you never know, they might be doing some crazy business, at least for the first month or two until it kind of wears off. I don't know. Could go either way.
I know they're talking about ramping everything up here in California. It's going to be When bars do open, it's going to be open under the condition that there's probably a lot fewer people in them.
People
So-
looks like people down in Orange County are pissed. They want to get out and hang out at the beach all day.
Right. Did you see the
And
news
it's
article?
safer to be outside. And these people that are like, wear a mask when you're outside. I'm just like, are you fucking that dumb?
Did you hear?
Well, how-
I'm not. I don't want to get political. It's not the
Well,
platform.
it's not about
but-
being political. It's about
Right.
it's about understanding fucking a virus.
No, but what I was going to say is, did you happen to notice that here in California, they've been talking a lot about the photos of the beach.
Right.
And my friend Courtney posted photos. The same exact photos are being used to show that there's a lot of people at the beach in Jacksonville, Florida, as there were in Orange County. So, newspapers all the time will just use on-file photos and stock photos to
Right.
make their point. But it's funny when everybody grabs onto it and goes, look at this. And then the reality is, oh, that's actually a photo from 2 years ago,
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But anyway. Hey, we got somebody from Australia all the way over here. Christo P. What's up, fellas? Hi from Australia. What's up?
Hey,
What's
Crystal.
going on the other side of the universe?
Hey, Don's in here. Hey, Don, how are you? Jimmy Biter. Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
Uh-oh, I
Tom,
saw
I
something
think
about
the
a
problem
penguin.
you have with that about bands charging is a lot of bands suck. And so bands go in and they're like, oh, we'll play for 300. We'll play for 400. And then, they'll go play and people will dance, they're drinking and whatnot. And a good band is like, yeah, we won 600. They're like, no, we don't pay that. We had a band in here that we paid 400. Then it's like, yeah, but that band's terrible.
Right.
So that you're always going to struggle with the paying of the bands because somebody's always willing to go in there and be like, throw together 3 guys and be like, dude, we got a band. We're going to charge $300 and do nothing.
That's going to be a discussion too. Like, if we're going, like, let's say we got a place that we have a relationship with, if they approach us and say, we haven't been making any money for the last 6 months, will you guys take a, reduced rate, the first show or couple of shows and help us out, and then, a little bit of give and take, and then, we'll
Sure.
make up for it later on. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of that negotiations going on, as you go back into playing again.
Yeah, my response would be fuck off. I'm serious. I'll tell you the reason why. It's like if an electrician comes over to your house and he wants to fix something, is he going to charge you less because your restaurant's not full? When we play in a band, we bring a crowd. That's what we do. And look, if a place is struggling, I don't mind that they negotiate, but don't sit there and say, help us out and we'll help you out down the road. My response to anyone that says that to me about anything in life is go fuck yourself. But you can offer my band free food and drink.
That's
And
what
we'll
I'm talking about.
and we'll take a reduced rate. Well, that's not them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying the no skin off my back and I'll hook you up later when I'm doing good. That's like,
No, that's
That's
what I'm
broke.
talking
You
about.
know what I
It's
mean?
like, we'll reduce the rate, but we'll give you guys dinner and drinks or whatever. And, like, you know what I mean? All I'm saying is that I'm sure there's gonna be
Yeah.
a little bit of negotiation.
well, you
going.
negotiate how the pay is done and how you're going to get paid
Yeah.
out. But I've had people say, we don't really do that well now. But if you play now, we'll yeah, no, that's not how I work. To me, that's like the be back bus. And John, you know about the be back bus.
Of course I do.
Yeah, the be back bus never comes back.
The one thing I will say that a lot of bands do wrong is they lose their focus, or they never understood in the first place their focus as to why they are there. If you are a band and you are playing at someone's venue, your job is to entertain that crowd and give them an experience that makes them want to come back and makes them want to buy drinks. That's it. That's your job. Get them to buy drinks, get them to come back. If you can do that, you should
Yes.
be earning. And if you
And
don't
if you
do
can
that-
put ass in the seats,
yeah,
then you're doubly, you know what I mean? If you can't put ass in the seats, there's two kinds of gigs. There's gigs where somebody could call me up and they're like, hey, it's a 40-minute drive from you. We'll fill the place. You just need to be good. Okay. At that point, I understand I'm a very expensive jukebox at that point.
right.
But if it's a local place and the guy's like, hey, I'm bringing 40 to 80 people into your establishment, I am the establishment.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not making any money without me there. And that one holds a lot of water. So when someone says to me, because, my band FM station, we bring a few people out. And so if someone says to me, hey, listen, oh, really? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, go hire that band for $200. And, people are, it's funny. There was a place it's in Massachusetts, and it was by a tracks. It was by a railroad tracks. So everyone knows what it is without me having to say the name if you're in Massachusetts, and that would be mainly for Tom Knight. But basically, they would always hire the shittiest bands and not want to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it through 3 different owners. Every one of them lost. The business is gone now. They've been closed for 4 years, but no shock when you sit there and tell me you don't want to pay a decent band and then you have to close your doors.
Do you think that the business owners also don't realize the real reason that you need to have a band that's good there? Or do you think that they just don't know what a good band is?
Both. Both.
The good band and not good band, for me anyway, if the people are up and dancing and they're entertained,
What the hell is that?
I just got a pop up.
Oh,
If the people are up and dancing and they're entertained, and if you bring folks and the folks that are there stay there, you're doing your job.
absolutely.
Right? That's it. That's all that matters. And that's all the bar owners care about is, you didn't get up on stage and, everybody run for the door. They stayed, and the people that came in stayed, and you may have brought, maybe in our case, we don't bring 40, 80 people. We might bring a dozen if we're lucky, maybe. But you know what I mean? But and then
Well, let me just say this. Let me say this to clarify. If a band comes in and you got a GB band, you know what a GB band is, right?
No.
General business. They come in and they're a GB band that plays Donnie Iris. They play the Greg Kinn band. They play all the songs you play. They play the AC/DC.
Right.
The people and let's just say that band on a level of talent, everybody's a 5. The crowd's going wild. The girls are dancing. Everyone's having a good time. And then you bring in a Yes tribute band. And everybody in the band is a 10.
Right.
2 people stay at the bar. Everybody else, the place empties, and nobody's going back to see that band. Now, I love Yes, but I'm just telling you, the reality is in a bar situation,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what the guys want to hear. What the women want to hear is what matters, because where the women go, the guys go.
Right.
And so that even though they're A+ musicians sitting there playing Heart of the Sunrise, no one's seeing them. Or if you want me to speak on Canadian terms, if you're in a Saga tribute band, thank you. Right?
Yeah.
You're in a Saga tribute band and the other band's playing Loverboy. The Loverboy is going to put more ass in the seats.
Yeah.
And keep people there.
Right.
Because the women there will be loving every minute of it.
That's
The
terrible.
kid will be hot tonight. You
Right.
might get lucky. They're working for the weekend. Thank you. Folks, I'm running out of puns here.
That's great stuff. Yeah, I can't imagine that there's a whole lot of women that are going to be interested in dancing around to Cygnus X BookTube. Just
The Cygnus X.
That's it. Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's what I'm saying. So it's not about the musicianship of the band. When I say a great band, I mean a band that is paid to do what you ask them to do, which is go in and entertain the party.
that's it.
Yeah. And
And that's what I mean by a good band. When I say a good band, it's somebody who's actually there to make money for the partnership that you've created for that night.
Yeah, like we pride ourselves, like we're not the best. I mean, we're definitely not top-notch musicians. We're passable, but like when we play places, we play the songs that people want to hear, and that's the other part of it too. Like you're there for the folks. You know, I'm not gonna go there being a Kiss fan, and I'm not gonna play like side one of Rock and Roll Over. I gotta play what the folks want to hear, and a lot of times you're playing some music you absolutely hate, but it doesn't matter if you hate it. If you know that like there's certain songs that are just money, you know, people are gonna get up. You're gonna always play those songs, right? And again, so if the crowd has a good night, and then how do you know you did a good job is if you go and you play a bar, and that bar creates 3 other bookings after that from, hey, I'm having a party and can you do my buddies turning 50 and this and that. If one gig breeds other gigs, then you know that you're doing all right. And that's kind of what we're like. The obviously, like I call, we're meat and potatoes, man. That's all we are. Nothing more, nothing less.
What's your band called?
The Hit Disturbers.
Cool.
Yeah, like there's another band that I play with that will never gig, but when I want to play what I want to play and really enjoy, playing with like these guys are like several notches better musicians than I am. But so for me, it's like, it's like getting into the ring with Muhammad Ali, right? But it's a great challenge. I have that outlet, but as far as just, just going out and gigging, I gig with these guys.
Yeah. I hear you. If I don't think there's a whole lot of money in Megadeth covers, so
No.
I have to forego that and play 90s music that I'm not as into.
So one place that we stopped playing was this bar, and we were booked one night, and a buddy of mine calls me up and he's like, "Hey, can you do a private birthday party for my wife on this night?" And I'm like, "No, we're booked at this bar, but they have a private room, so call them, rent the private room because we play right in front of the private room." So he does. His party has 50 plus people. We put about 60 people there. We usually bring about 80 people there, but that night we brought about 110 people. Anyways, we play. The place is packed, having a great time. The bartender gives me shit at the end of the night. Says, "Hey, you only had like 60 people here tonight. That's not a good night for you." I said, "What about that back room?" He goes, That back room's a private party." Well, the guy who booked the party, I go, "Yeah, he booked it and he's here because of us." But I had to sit there and argue, like, why wouldn't the establishment? And he even said he told the place that they were booking the room to come because the band was playing. And when you don't treat your own well, I said it to the band after that. Because I book, I'm like, I'm never booking there again. Fuck them. Just don't care.
Sure.
Because I can get treated by shit by anyone. I could stay home and treat myself like shit if I felt like it. But I'm just saying, it's like I don't need somebody to be like, "Hey, you guys didn't bring anybody." Bring anybody. They told us one time, the first time we played there, they told us we were too loud. There were two regulars at the bar that thought we were too loud. And I'm like, the two regulars at the bar were the only two people that weren't here for us. Like everyone else was us. And I'm like, we had about 100 people here. And 102 people in the place. They're concerned with about the two regulars. I'm like, you guys shouldn't have bands here. You guys aren't smart enough to figure it out. They ended up going out of business. They closed.
Either of you guys happen to play Brick House when you go out?
No. I love the song though.
That too loud thing that always pisses me right off, because when we're doing sound check and the place is maybe a quarter full or people are just finishing dinner, everything you play is loud.
Oh.
And then it's like, and then you'll start the first set, and then by the second set, when a place starts to fill up, that's when I start going for that volume, man, and I just crank it up and crank it up and crank it up. But
the problem with this place was it's a loud room. It's all wood. Everything reflects everything, and we weren't really that loud at that time. I bring my Hot Rod Deluxe. I keep it the same volume every time. It's not even that loud, but
it's hard to play rock and roll if you're in a rock band. Even if you're playing rock, covers, whatever. It's hard to play that stuff quiet to a house volume.
If you can't
It
hear,
just doesn't feel right.
yeah, if you can't hear your guitar over the drums, you're not loud enough. That plain and simple.
In the
Do you
Baltimore
guys remember
area.
Ashdown?
Sure. Yeah.
John, did you ever play
Mark
that
Goodday.
Ashdown
Mark
Fallen
Goodday.
the Fallen Angel 180?
Was that the one that was made for John Fogerty? Was
I
that
don't
his
think so.
signature? He had a
Was it?
signature Ashdown guitar amp.
This thing
Maybe
was
it wa-
like 100.
maybe it wasn't.
It was huge, but it had the most vicious sound. I loved that amp.
I don't know that I ever turned it
Ooh,
up or
two
anything.
and 2 and 3 chord jams is from the Baltimore area.
Mhm.
I've played a couple of bars in the block. And I'm joking. I was not playing bars in the block. It's like all the strip clubs across from the police station in Baltimore.
I had no idea. What's going on?
Uh,
I wonder what's going on in Baltimore these days. I hear it's funny, you see media reports and it looks like, it's trashed, but then I know people that live there and they seem to enjoy it, so who knows.
Well, Baltimore has some nice areas. I mean, Towson's a real nice area. That's not too far from the city. It's nice.
Is that where you get the blue crab?
That's everywhere.
Maryland. You guys have
Yeah.
that up in the Northeast?
What's that?
Blue crab?
Yeah, we get it, but it comes from the Maryland area, the Maryland blue crab, the soft shell crabs, and all that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, brick house. Oh, I see why you were
Well,
asking the question.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the stream down here. Yeah.
The only Commodore's song we've done live is "Easy."
That's a great one.
Yeah,
I kind of want to do that. I mean, our set's a lot harder, but doing a softer song to mix it up, that would be the one I'd pick.
it's a fun one.
We what about I know that you do
I like
a lot
Sail
of,
On.
you do a lot of like AM Gold and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, well that's my acoustic band. Yeah, we do a lot of AM
Oh, okay.
yacht rock.
Okay, so FM station, what are you guys covering for the most part?
FM station, we basically try to do rock songs from about 1978 to 1982.
Okay.
A lot of one-hit wonders like Donny Iris, Aaliyah.
Love that song.
Yeah, we do.
You do Come On Eileen.
No, we don't. We don't. Although I like the song. Actually, off that album, I like a song called "I'll Show You." I always thought that was a good song by.
There was more than one song on that album.
Yeah, they also did a cover, I think, of Jackie Wilson said. Oh yeah, Faith No More does a cool cover of "Easy."
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Brighter brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that song from the Producers that I loved?
Ooh, Sheila.
Sheila. You guys should do that song.
It was on our list.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, I love it too.
If I went to a bar to have a beer and there was a cover band and they're playing that song, I would lose it.
Yeah,
Be like,
we do
be
a lot of
kidding me.
like. We do like "One Last Kiss" from Jay Giles, which is like a kind of a hit for them, and then we do "One of These Nights" by the Eagles. We do "I Can't Tell You Why" by the Eagles. We do the Logical song by Supertramp. We're doing songs.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a set where people go, fuck does these songs? Like no band really would go and try them, and that's our whole goal.
That's fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I think I wish more bands had that sort of a thing. I feel like oftentimes when you look at cover bands, they automatically pick like the most popular song from the given artist. I would love it if these bands picked like the second or third most popular songs from these artists, knowing that not everybody chooses those. But when you hear them, you're like, oh shit, I haven't heard that in a long time.
We try to do that, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like I talked about this a while back. I love the song from a band called The Vapors back 1979, Turning Japanese. Absolutely love that song.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's do it. Here's a song, everybody's gonna know it, this and that. And that we played it a couple of times. It got semi lukewarm, and then it just sort of nosedive because it's just too obscure. Nobody knows it. So when you try to
I
do
got your
stuff
picture.
Well,
yeah,
too obscure is too obscure. But what I mean is, like, if you take like a Police song, and instead of playing Roxanne, you choose Synchronicity 2. Still was a popular song.
yeah, okay.
Maybe not as popular as Roxanne. That's my point.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what I mean. We do like the Firm Satisfaction Guaranteed. We do Peg by Steely Dan. We do Nights on Broadway by the Bee Gees.
Nice.
So we do like a lot of fun stuff. We do
Who in your band is the Michael McDonald in that song?
The lead singer Jim goes into the microphone. It's hilarious. We have a guy that comes out to a lot of our shows who looks like Michael McDonald. And so we were always doing Michael McDonald impersonations between songs.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. You can sing a lot of songs as Michael McDonald, too.
So Christo asks, he says, I've got 2 Warmoth builds, which are hard to get in Australia. Both are keepers. My question to you guys is, if money was no object, what would be your ultimate Warmoth build? Woods and such.
You want to go first?
Sure. I mean, mine is simple. I'm not a fancy wood guy. I don't need flame tops and stuff. My next build, if I put it together today, would literally be a pre-CBS style, so like a regular headstock style Strat in Sonic Blue, probably with lightweight alder body, maple neck, maple fingerboard. I mean, probably a matching headstock Sonic Blue. I mean, it's like the most unexciting thing that you could get. That'd be the one. I mean, I could get into the nitty gritty. I'd definitely get stainless frets. Definitely get a beefier neck. 1 and 11.
Which beefy neck do you like out of the Warmoth? What's your favorite Warmoth neck?
I like the 59 Les Paul Roundback.
Ooh, so you like the real beefy 1-inch neck?
It's not that. No, you're talking about the no-caster neck.
Oh, right. What do they call it though? Warmoth has a name for it.
They call it a fat back.
Fat back.
Yeah. No, I like the 59 Les Paul back, and so I would do that shape. 1 and 11/16 nut, jumbo stainless frets, Goto 510, probably Goto 510V, which is the vintage style, the stamped saddles, that sort of bridge. And then DiMarzio Pro 54 and Area 58s.
Crystal, I would
just
go
be
with
a
something
Strat
like this, which is just like a regular alder Strat with a Wenge neck and ebony fingerboard, stainless frets. Just something simple like this. It's a V neck. It's a Clapton neck. I do like the wood, like the Wenge. Although I've done Warmoth builds with a maple neck, I'm not into as far as the body wood. I say alder because I think alder's like the cheapest they do, or basswood.
Basswood's $20 cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, but the alder's fine. I think the alder doesn't chip out as much as basswood does. Basswood, the paint seems to chip out on basswood quite a bit. But other than that, like that part doesn't matter to me. Although I love the feel of the Wenge. It has a nice feel.
I was going to ask you, what's the Wenge? Is it like, is it more sturdy or not sturdy? Rigid?
So Wenge is like, have you played a Warwick bass?
No.
All the Warwick bass necks are Wenge. It's a rough feeling wood.
Here's
look
a
at the
nice
grain.
shot of Wenge.
Okay.
You can kind of see how stripy it looks, and it's kind of open pore.
Right.
Yes.
So that's Wenge. It's naturally kind of oily or waxy or whatever, and so it doesn't require finish, which is beautiful.
I'm talking about like how is it react with weather a lot, or is it pretty much you got to do a lot of truss rod adjustments, or is it
I
pretty
haven't done any of it.
It's
solid?
It's been amazingly consistent. I have 2 guitars with Wenge necks.
Oh, okay.
I haven't adjusted either one of them since the day I set them up.
Cool.
It's fantastic.
Okay, we'll go to Tom Knight's question, but first, Hack, what about if you were to build a Warmoth build?
You know, I don't know enough about Warmoth and what they have. You know, my guitar is a Les Paul, so I would
Right.
maybe something Les Paul like whatever the closest approximation to what they would have to a Les Paul.
Cool.
What did Mr.
If you could
T
have a
want?
lesson with any player, who would it be? And my question for you, Tom, is it living or dead, or has to be living?
It's a good question.
I'm asking Tom to clarify on.
It doesn't even matter. I'll answer because mine is living. It doesn't matter. I would do it with Yngwie. I wouldn't learn a damn thing.
I was gonna
Have you
say-
have you seen his lesson videos? He's just like, all right, next you go. Let me play it slow. You're like, what? But it would be fun to hang out with Yngwie for a half hour and just listen to the bullshit that he spews.
Wow, interesting.
I would love that. It'd
Hack,
be
what about
hilarious.
you?
Well, I don't think I'll learn anything either, but I just love to hang out with Nuno Betancourt for an afternoon and just get blown away, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
He said living or dead. I think, yeah. The reason why I ask, because my instinct to go to is to go to Holdsworth just to ask him how he looks at certain things. But probably the one that I would get the most out of would be like Larry Carlton. I would just talk about certain solos he did and how he approached it and how he looked at it. But I would love one from, I mean, there's a million guys I would love to take lessons from, but Larry would be one where I would just be like, love to pick the brain. And same with Holdsworth. But I don't think Holdsworth would just look at me like, no, you're not ready. You're not here yet.
I love that you're
string
actually going to learn something from the lesson that you take.
Yeah.
I would try
And I
to. That
just-
would be my point.
I just want to be a part of that cult of personality.
Oh, see, to me, if somebody would have said to me I could have a lesson with anybody, I would love to say to Larry Carlton, there's a song he plays on Christopher Cross's album called I Really Don't Know Anymore. And I would just be like, what the hell? Like, I just want to know what his approach was on the song. I think the song's in B, and he seems to be playing across it. It has a real nice sound. That's all I mean, because I think he does think like, I think he's more cerebral. But that would be cool, I think.
Fair enough.
Did you happen to listen to My Wife Likes the Romantic Song Hack is Tired Of?
Which
Hack,
one
you're
is that?
tired of on a night like this?
Pardon me?
You're tired of the song on a night like this? No, I'm kidding. Obviously, what I like about you.
What I like about I don't mind that song actually.
Oh, second 2 and 3 chord jams.
I want to do I hear the secrets that you keep. Ba-doop, da-doop, when you're talking in the sleep or whatever.
Yeah, we do
I
that
want to
one
do that.
too.
That song's great.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so for me, I would say Tom's saying a lesson, not a sit down. So wait, you're not going to have your capo and the mob boss sit you down with this guy and be like, no, I mean, I was saying a lesson, like it would be a lesson. Yngwie would be fun, but I already know what he does. Like,
Yeah.
I just, it's like, it'd be funny to watch him do it in front of you, but I don't think I could learn anything from him.
He
I think
says
Nuno's
Chet
a good
Atkins.
player.
Well, right. If we're not allowed to have a sit down, we got to pick
Yeah.
a real guitar
Gotta learn something.
player. You have to learn something. I don't know. I might go like a totally different direction. And
Yeah,
like,
me too. I'm thinking completely different.
pick like a Dan Tominski or something like that.
Oh, he's great. You know I love Dan.
It's a good band. We never talk about that because we're talking about rock most of the time.
Yeah. He plays one of those Dana Bourgeois acoustic guitars too. He's great. Dan
Yeah, Dan-
Tominski, everybody, is the guitar player for Alison Krauss. And he also sang the George Clooney parts in Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Mm-hmm.
He's great.
I've
I
got
like the
no
boy that went home.
friends to help me now.
I like the all about a boy who wouldn't hold corn.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all great stuff. It's very good. Anyways, I think that yeah, I mean, Chet Atkins is a good one. I think Dan Tominski. I think Hack would probably want to sit down with a guy who had a birthday just a few days ago who turned let's see, how old is he? He's got to be 69 this year, I think.
That wouldn't be him. No,
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Ace Frehley,
Oh, absolutely.
of course. No, you know what? If it's like to not a sit down, or what is it, as a sit or as a lesson as opposed to a
Yeah.
sit down, I'd like to see if I could pick something up from Jimmy Page. That'd be the guy I'd want to talk to.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, any type of approach, anything that somebody could show you. Yeah, I don't know about Ace, but
Oh, Ace can show you anything.
you'd have a few laughs with Ace.
Oh, you laughed your ass off. That would be a sit down. That wouldn't be a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to have a sit down with Vinnie Vincent. It's actually going to be more
I know.
like an intervention with Vinnie Vincent.
Yeah, you'll be
The
only
other type of player I would want a lesson from would have been Steve Wariner.
Who's that?
So he is a country. I know you know who he is. John met him at the Dallas Guitar Show.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Warrenier.
Esteban Warrenier,
He's
the Mexican French guy.
Chai Rodriguez.
What'd you say?
Chai Rodriguez.
Oh, exactly. That's what we used to call Chichi Rodriguez. Chai Rodriguez.
Les Nessman.
Yeah. Here's a great trivia
Oh,
question
that's
for you.
funny.
What album cover is based on a picture of Chichi Rodriguez?
Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
No idea.
I had no idea.
What album cover is based on a picture of Chichi Rodriguez? As I hear him Google typing right now as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going with Hats from the Blue Nile.
No.
Oh, darn it. Because I see a picture of Chichi Rodriguez and he's wearing a hat and I could totally see that silhouette being him.
Oh, okay. Now look up the Devo album, Are We Not Men?
Oh yeah, look at that. Absolutely.
Originally, it was actually a cartoon of him that he used for his products, and then they ended up having to change it slightly to make it so it wasn't him.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hats from the Blue Nile is just the picture of the back of his head instead of the front.
But you can't see the face or the kind of hat.
Yeah. They wanted to be mysterious.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Wariner. I'll tell you another good one would be Brent Mason.
Yeah. Yeah, Brent Mason would be amazing.
And another great
Paisley,
one.
Brent Mason, Steve Wariner, any of those country rippers would be great.
And what about the guy who Tonus Diabolicus? Gregory Cockery.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Greg Koch would be a great guy to sit with.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I think he could show you a lot of stuff because I think he
But if you only got
has a
half
lot
hour-
of stuff in his trick bag.
If you're only gonna get a half hour though, you're gonna get like 25 minutes of goofy lingo and 5 minutes of music.
No, right. Here is Tonus Diabolicus.
It's goofy.
That's his term for the tritone.
He's a pretty amazing player though.
He's
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
Jimmy
He's great.
Requested I wear my best pantsuit. I guess I don't know what that's in reference to.
That's a Vinnie Vincent reference. I was going to tell
Oh.
you when you met Vinny, you'd be the only one. When you met Vinny, you'd be the only one wearing pants. So
Oh, poor Vinny.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, it
That
makes me
is
wonder
funny.
what's up with Vinnie Vincent. Same thing with Joe Lynn Turner.
I think he's had one too many plastic surgeries. He
Who,
doesn't-
Jolyn Turner?
Yeah.
I like Joe Lynn Turner. What's up with him?
He
There's a
looks he looks like your old aunt that works in like a New Jersey diner. He waits tables
Oh,
at night.
Christ. Really?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Steven Tyler kind of does too.
I gotta see if I can somehow.
Yeah, he has not aged well.
I gotta see if I can somehow share this picture in my screen here.
Oh, you put it in the chat.
Oh, I can put it in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I hate to do this, but
Folks,
I
if anybody wants to join in on the chat, the link is in the description or in the title or in the
Yeah,
chat.
I'm gonna have to bail on you.
That's all right.
Very good, sir. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for stopping by. We enjoyed you.
Well, thanks so much for the invite, and you guys have a great weekend, man.
Be good,
You
Hack.
too. All right, Hack.
Take care.
Very good.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing where I can enter a photo into.
Oh, click on chat
Yeah,
and then see the word file
I don't.
on the bottom of the chat. It says to everyone, not the YouTube chat, our chat, John.
Yeah. I still don't see it.
You don't see file?
No.
Hold on.
This is bad. I should see it. Oh, it's because I'm not in chat. I am sorry. I'm out of my mind.
We found it.
I found it. Yeah, right. So here comes trouble. As soon as I can find this photo. Boy, this is bad.
Folks, if you're calling east of the Rockies,
Yeah, you'll want to entertain them while I'm searching.
yeah,
Sing a little
watch, but
song.
I agree. He doesn't, they don't look good.
I don't know what happened.
Tom Knight says, Joe Lynn, I will have the baked potato. Actually, I went to a diner and Joe Lynn waited on me and I said to him, this potato is stone cold. This can't happen here. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Death Alley Driver. I don't know. I was kind of trying to come up with as many song titles as I can for him.
Poor Joe.
This potato tastes like it's been on the street of dreams.
It's fantastic. Poor Joe.
I surrender. I surrender. Oh, he was great, though. I used to love Jealous Lover. And it's hard to discover. You're just like every other. Ooh, Bingham shared a file.
That's it. But you could totally see him waiting tables at a Jersey diner. And it wouldn't be a him.
Oh, that is not a good picture. That is, by the way, more hair than he would have had if he was 13. I'm not saying it's a wig, but that is not his own hair. He is getting a lot of help upstairs, folks.
Yeah. That's what's happening these days. I feel like it's maybe one of the reasons that people don't follow rock music as much as they used to.
Well, how many actors do you think are getting help upstairs?
All of them. Except for
Right?
Bruce Willis, which is why he's awesome.
Right, but look at Robert Redford. He's had that mop top for years. That hair looks so fake.
Yeah, it's it's pervasive. I remember the conversation. You used to tell me you were convinced that Josh Scott had on a wig.
What do you mean I used to be convinced? There's no convincing me
I'm telling you.
otherwise.
Because of that, I'm at the NAMM show this past year, and I'm like looking up at his forehead, moving away, looking real close. Is that what I think it is?
Did you see a hairline?
I think it's real.
No. Folks, we weigh in. You're listening to Wig Talk.
Dude. The worst is, if I could find it, the Styx. Styx right now, all their promotional photos. You see the guys from Styx right now, and you're just like, what are you doing?
So, what do you think about Dennis DeYoung? He went and performed in his house. I was very disturbed by this because the white hair looks like a wig.
Mm-hmm.
The glasses look like grandmother glasses. They're like pink plastic frames. And he's like, "What's a mother to do?" I was like, is he going to sing us a song or is he going to bake us fresh cookies?
I love cookies, if you can't tell.
Maury's wigs through hurricane winds.
It's rough, man.
Folks, if you want to get involved in the chat, by all means, jump on your Zoom and join us in.
So
Hope
I
we
just
get another
shared
file.
I just shared another one. This is what's going on with Styx lately. It's just, if you're like a 13 or 14-year-old and you run across this because you're getting into rock music, you're immediately going and listening to hip hop. You're just like, fuck this.
First of all, not a good looking group. But can we say, take a look at that picture, John. One of these guys is making scale and the rest are doing pretty good. Can you guess which guy would be making scale?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Look at how unhappy he is to be in this picture.
Yeah. He was late for his hair appointment.
Right.
So
He was like,
they were like, "Oh, well, Jim, you got to go out and you just got to, be a normal guy on the street. Sorry." And he was
right.
like,
I also like the fact that James Y. Young looks like he's 6'5" next to Tommy Shaw.
Right.
And Tommy Shaw is probably 5'3". I should be in Styx.
Yeah.
I should be in Styx so I can look tall next to Tommy Shaw.
I just think that the only way you're going to get into Styx is if you start wearing a lot of makeup.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
You totally gotta tuck it back too.
Oh, you gotta
no choice.
the eye
If we're
make.
in
You gotta
Styx,
put on
you're
the
gonna-
eye makeup, the black hair with the black wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're tucking
Yeah.
like Buffalo Bill.
Oh yeah. You want to fuck me? I'd fuck me.
I'm losing subscribers right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't say anything like that these days, folks.
Yeah, one of the guys in Styx doesn't look happy to be there. He's like, the photographer said, "Dude, why aren't you happy?" He's like, "I'm in Styx."
Yeah, it's like when that Dennis DeYoung thing you're talking about, when it came out a few days ago, it was shockingly more masculine than what we're looking at there in that photo.
You think so?
And it's Dennis DeYoung.
Oh, I don't think so. See, I think the picture of Styx that John just shared is a picture of guys who are like Hollywooding, getting old. They got
Just
the eye
awful.
makeup on. They all look like what's his name from Bon Jovi? Richie Sambora. They went to the Richie Sambora School of Fashion.
Is he still
As
doing
you
that?
age, put on eye makeup, dye your hair, wear the hair teased. Yeah, it looks ridiculous.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But Dennis DeYoung,
God.
Dennis DeYoung, you show me that picture and say, "Oh, look, here's my grandmother." I'd be like, "Oh, wow, she looks good for her age." And she sings just like the singer for Styx. That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
Can you guys share? How do you share this picture?
Didn't
Watchman, you got a camera? Come in the room here.
Oh, geez, I thought that was shared. My mistake. It was only shared in the Zoom group. It didn't go out.
Yes.
Oh, man. So the folks don't get what we're getting after here. Damn it.
Liberace, you know I love Scott Thorson. Scott
All right.
Thorson, everybody.
So I'm going to do this way then.
Can you show it in the? Oh no, you know you could show it on here
Here we go.
in place of your camera.
We're gonna start with Jolyn Turner.
There it is.
Everybody, would you like the meatloaf?
What do you want, honey?
I
You
ain't
want
got all
butter
day.
with those pancakes?
So that's Jolyn.
Yeah.
I heard the voice of something in the night, spellbound,
Could you guys see that picture?
Let us
Did
know.
everyone get that?
Oh, it's on the screen right now. I see it. Oh my God. Scott Thorson, Liberace, Dave Dennis DeYoung.
Yeah. Okay, let's see the Styx picture now.
Okay. I'm sailing away.
Oh, you got to put that Dennis DeYoung photo up.
Set an open course.
Oh, yeah,
for
here
the
we go.
Virgin Seas.
The funny thing is, if you said the guy with the mouse is right there on James Y. Young, if you said
Oh, yeah.
that's James Hetfield's older brother, I'd be like, oh, no shit.
Look at this finely manicured beard right here. Just like take the manliest thing in the world, which is, of course, a beard, and castrate it. And then you get that beard.
Yeah, I don't know what the guy is wearing on the far right at that jacket. I don't know what you call that kind of a jacket.
I don't know.
But the hair and everything, it's like, yes, folks,
Oh.
Harry Styles. Oh,
This
he's
guy's the
so
greatest,
happy.
though.
He's so happy to be there. Dude, what's your problem? I'm in Styx.
Fantastic. So it turns out that we're just using this show to make fun of people. Be careful.
All right, now
with
we
that
gotta
ham
find.
sandwich.
We gotta find. Hold on, let me find the Dennis DeYoung photo. Because
Oh, boy.
no, because this was like the glasses, everything about him. I was like, what is he doing?
Yep. I think I got one for you here.
Oh, you do? You found one?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I gotta save the image real quickly, so I can do a share. Actually, I don't have to. I can just share this way. So I'll leave that. All right, it's coming. It's coming. That's coming. Calm down, folks.
All right, here we go.
All right. You ready? You ready? And here we are.
Those glasses are way more manly than the ones I'm referring to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you think the hair is a hair piece?
I think he's getting a lot of help there.
Yeah, it's possible. What military unit is this jacket from?
Yeah, he's a rear admiral.
I'm not sure you can say that.
Christ.
Oh, man. What do I do now? I just did something. There, we're back.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Rear Admiral.
I've always said that. I mean, I'm a huge Jimmy Page fan, but when his hair went white.
Watchman's asking who's that?
Oh, that is Dennis DeYoung from Styx.
Yeah, he was the I'm sailing away guy.
Yeah.
If you think your life is complete confusion. If any Styx song sounded like it was supposed to be a Broadway musical, it was his.
Oh, right.
The Tommy Shaw Styx would be like your Blue Collar Man and all that sort of stuff. So,
well, before it was, when they said it was no longer okay to ask if people were gay when they joined the army got around it anyway. They'd be like, if you could listen to Styx, what songs would you like to hear? The guy's like, oh, Come Sail Away, Babe, Rock, The Best of Times. Okay, great. I want you to stand right over here for us.
Lady.
Actually, I like all the Dennis DeYoung stuff, but I do prefer the Tommy Shaw.
Yeah. Again, this is why people aren't listening to rock music anymore. They're going over to hip hop because apparently they prefer rainbow colored grills instead of wigs.
Well, it's between Styx and REO Speedwagon, I think if you were to go to a show where it was Styx, REO Speedwagon, and what they call Foreigner right now, that would be a good 1, 2, 3 punch, to go out for an evening. Say the tickets cost you $50. I
Sure.
would call that a value. But if someone said, "Oh, we're just going to see Styx," I'd be like, "Get the fuck bent. What are you talking about?" Or any of those bands, because they're not even the full bands. I mean, they kicked Dennis DeYoung out of Styx, and you
Yeah.
know, uh, the,
I don't know anymore. If you're a band that was like bigger in the 70s, I just don't know if it's worth seeing you now because you're freaking 80. No offense to old people, but like the show is not. It's not the show. Like any band that I've seen that's been like 30 years out of their prime or whatever, it just hasn't been as exciting as I thought it would be.
yeah, I don't have a problem with going to see them. I just think that you got to go on a multi-bill because you know I don't know if I could sit down to a whole concert of Styx.
Sure.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's
Like
but
I
that's
went and saw Steely Dan.
that would be what
Nate,
you were that would be what you would be doing to is sitting down to it. There would be,
right. But I mean, if I went and saw Steely Dan and they were like performing the Royal Scam album, I'd be like, "Oh, that's going to be a fun show. I'll go to that."
sure.
But if Styx were performing like, "Oh, they're going to perform the Paradise Theater album," I'd be like, "Really?" And, and people paid? People are going? Like they sold seats?
Paradise Theater. Yeah.
Rockin' the Paradise.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there's an ass for every seat. Yeah. So does anybody
You know,
have any
ACDC was good older. Yeah, that's for sure.
anybody else have anything that they want to add to this crazy little conversation? I don't think anybody's going to jump on. We've pretty much figured out that was not going to happen.
It's such a great conceptually.
Just being able to pop on here and shoot the shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that more people aren't willing to jump into the room with us.
Yeah. That's all right. They're just enjoying the time. But we are coming up on it, I believe. How long are we in this right now? 76 minutes. Yeah,
Yes.
we're coming up on it for sure. DL, you got any gigs this weekend? Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
That suck. I've got no gigs. I haven't. You know what sucks about not having any gigs? I have had zero motivation to learn any new songs.
Mm. I meant to teach a lesson today on my channel, and time just got away from me. And I might do. Yes, you need Zoom. Do you have? It's easy to download, Jimmy. We'd love to have you pop in.
Yeah,
It's free, Jimmy, and all you have to do is download it. It takes 2 minutes.
if you download that or if you click that link that I just shared with you, it will give you a download that will happen in
Yeah, Jimmy, you can just
10
click that
seconds.
link. It'll download, and you'll be up in 2 minutes with us. But so I was going to do a lesson on. No, if you don't have your camera hooked up, your audio will still work, and we can hear you. At that point, you would be just a caller. Is the caller there? Anyway, so I got a couple of songs I'm going to teach. I think I'm going to do a song from the 60s called Don't You Care? Yes, John is on a Mac right now. I am on a PC, which is by the band the Buckinghams. And then I was going to teach an Andy Gibb song. I try to teach as many songs that I love that I don't want to remember how they go. So if I teach them, I could always go back and just watch me play it and go, "Oh yeah, okay, I remember how I did that."
That's a good
no,
concept.
that's the honest truth of why I teach songs on my channel.
Oh, that's
They're for me,
hilarious.
folks. Oh yeah.
Makes me wonder
You
why
see, I
there's so much
posted
Andy
the
Gibb
Steve
going on
Lukather
lately.
solo
I saw something. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
to "I'll Be Over You."
I'll be over you. I'm trying to remember how that tune goes. Is that off of 4?
No, it's off Fahrenheit. As soon as my heart stops breaking.
Oh, sure. I
And
remember that.
the Michael McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right. He all of a sudden shows up. All of a sudden, Michael McDonald's on the roof. They're all like, what? Hell's this guy doing here?
What was the song?
Soon as forever is through.
Is that the song where they're like, "Oh, let's go jam," and then it's like, "Some people live their dreams."
They're on
and
the
you're like,
roof.
what?
Right.
Folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a Toto video where they're all like in an apartment in New York City. You hear traffic noise out the window, and then you hear like I don't know if it was Jeff Porcaro. It's like, "Oh man, let's go!" Like it's like this really hyped up sort of thing, and then they end up on the roof, and it's like the softest ballad you've ever heard in your
No,
life.
but wait, before they start though, it's the sigh. When you hear him take that breath, it's like, which is the best part of the tune. Is like that.
Oh.
Some people. Oh, it's
I
great.
remember the first time I saw that video, I watched that intro about 20 times. This can't be happening.
As soon as there was a time, then all of a sudden they look over at Michael McDonald's there. Oh, time. Ah, it's great.
That's funny.
Yeah, Michael McDonald's really fantastic.
Yeah, right.
And
So, Watchmen, are you coming on, or are we?
no, it was
we
Jimmy
passing
Biter,
it?
I think.
No, it was Watchmen.
No, Jimmy Biter. I need Zoom, or I would.
Oh, they're both asking. Does it work on
Yeah.
the Mac? Does it blah blah blah? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All right.
But
All right.
Toto's a great band. I love the Lucas stuff. I was gonna do like an electric song too. I haven't figured out what I want to do, but I'm gonna do the Andy Gibbs song. Don't throw it all away. I love my love. I was gonna do that one. And I'm gonna do Don't You Care by the Buckinghams, which is like your typical 60s. If you really love me, why don't you tell me? I love that song. Instead of running around.
You should do some Max Webster songs.
I don't know anything by Max Webster.
I don't think anybody in the U.S. does.
I only know the only thing I know is Patio Lanterns by Kim Mitchell and Go for Soda.
Go for Soda, sure. I'd rather listen to John Bingham and Dave Levin than Mark Levin. It's Dave
Mark
Levine.
Levin?
Mark Levin.
Let me just say this.
Isn't
Mr.
Mark-
Producer.
Is Mark Levin or Mark Levin or whatever? He's the conservative talk show host guy, right?
The great one. Yes.
I don't think that I've ever heard his show
Mr.
before.
Producer.
I've heard of him.
Oh, he's
Jim
hilarious
Byers.
when he sounds like Wally Cox and he gets angry. She's an imbecile. Mr. Producer. He sounds like Wally Cox, who's the voice of Underdog. Bless you, sir.
What about Wally Sparks?
I love Meet Wally Sparks.
That's a great.
Oh,
one.
wait, you know who else was in that movie? You just reminded me. Was Debbie Mazar.
Who?
Debbie Mazar. She's Henry's girlfriend in Goodfellas.
Oh.
The one who's making all the coke. And he's like, do the dishes. It's disgusting in here. She's like a producer, Shelly the Machine. I can only talk to a Mr. or Mrs. Nyborg. Big fan of
Ooh.
Gary Glenn Ross. Big
That
fan.
That was a leap from Meet Wally Sparks to Glengarry. How did I miss that?
Yeah.
Shelley the Machine Levine. Oh, Tom.
Yeah, Watchmen, you're damn right. She's an imbecile. Oh, he's hilarious. Mr. Producer.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, what are the songs? Are there any acoustic guitar songs that you always wanted to learn but didn't know? Let me know if I can teach it on my channel. And
You should teach Little Martha.
I love Little Martha. I like the Jerry Douglas version of it.
Of course.
Have you
It's
heard?
freaking haunting. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's great at it.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. I think it's an open tuning song, right? Open E or
Yeah.
open D.
Yeah.
Great song.
I knew how to play it at one point in time. I could probably figure it out again, but it's
That's a great
fingerstyle-
episode.
fingerstyle acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Great
Tom
song.
Knight's talking about the episode with Wally Cox on the Twilight Zone with the computer Agnes. Agnes.
You got me there.
Agnes. Oh, it's great. The computer's in love with Wally Cox and she's sabotaging his relationship with this other girl.
Mm.
Where did Jimmy
Say
Biter
no.
go? Is he come in the room yet? Let's take a
Yeah,
look.
no idea.
Anybody
No.
knocking on the door here?
No, not yet. Yeah. The
Have you ever seen the talk show on cable access in New York and it's on gun control? And the guy asks a question and then just like one person calls and you think it's a real call. And then
No.
everybody is just ripping the shit out of the guy. Oh, it's
no,
it's
no
one of
idea.
the greatest videos. It's cable access in New York. I love Bobby Blue Band's version of Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. I love that. That's a great song. Let me see if I can find this for you, Bingham. You will cry.
Midnight
it's,
at the Oasis.
What's that?
Midnight at the Oasis.
I'm not.
I gotta see what that is. Maria Muldaur. Can't say I'm familiar
What?
with this. I bet if I heard it, I'd know it. I don't know it off the top of my head. This Midnight
Midnight
at the
at the
Oasis
Oasis?
song. Yeah, do you know that tune?
Of course, it's Maria Muldaur. Midnight at the Oasis.
Does she sound like that?
Send your camel to bed. All right, I'm clicking this in the chat.
What now?
That's my in the chat on YouTube. That cable access that's the guy who's doing a cable access thing on guns, and it's just hysterical how people tool on him for like the whole show.
Oh, yeah. I'll watch it.
Oh, it's great. It's a classic.
Dude, I don't know why I keep yawning. I got coffee over here.
So, John, let me ask you this because we're on the show and we're burning time. We can see by the clock we only have 6 hours left in this telethon. What did you do to get on YouTube? You just clicked.
Are you referring to the process with Zoom? How we did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is at the bottom of your screen there should be 3 dots that say more, and if you click on that, do you see controls at the bottom of your screen the same way I do?
I see participants,
Right, and then chat, and then share
screen, record
pause.
reactions.
Yep, and there should be more. Do you see?
I don't
that?
have more because I'm the
Okay.
guest.
So when you host it, you'll have a button right next to reactions that says more, and when you click on that, it'll give you live feed options. And then you click on that, it opens up a new web window for you, and then gives you the option to name it and all that sort of stuff.
And so you name it,
Oh.
Dave and John take all your gear and music questions.
I should have made it say Dave and John take all of your gear, and then if you guys sign on, you all have to give us your gear. We just get free
That's a
shit.
contract.
Right. And we'll end up with a whole lot of used crate GX 15Rs.
Now,
How many people,
above your
in
dirty
this room? Let me ask this.
11.
question. How many people in this room have ever owned a crate practice amplifier? My very first guitar amplifier was a crate GX 15R.
Ooh, my second amp was a G40C.
All right.
And you know what? I think I bought it off of Steve from Boston.
No shit.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He has a YouTube channel. He's like, hey, dudes. He says the word
Oh.
dudes a lot.
I do know who that is. Yes.
Okay, so Steve from Boston used to work at a store that who was owned by one of my first cousin's best friends.
Mm.
So I would go there, and my first cousin would my cousin's buddy would always take care of me. But when I went and bought an amp that one time, he talked to this guy, and then the guy took care of me. And I think it was Steve back then.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It was brought up to me by a buddy of mine who watched his show and said, "Hey, didn't that guy work over there and sell you that amp that time?" He remembered more than I did. I was like, I remember it was an employee, but I don't remember who it was. He goes, "It looked just like that guy. Does he work there?" And I said, "I think he did."
What was now I know that
Oh,
the
it's
PV
great, Tom.
I had an old crate head designed by Lee Jackson, blah blah blah. There's a lot
Wait a
of-
second. This question turned into, does anybody in the room ever own a crate, to this room, everybody in the room has a collection of crates.
Right. Oh man. Yeah, that first one, that was my practice amp. That was it. That was when I
Yeah.
would sit in my bedroom trying to play all of them old Metallica songs, because that was what was important when I was 13.
So I had a crate G40C that died on me in 2004.
Well, you had it all the way up to 2004.
Yep.
No kidding.
I took it to an amp repair guy, and he looked at it and he's like, "It's going to cost you more to fix it than you paid for this amp." And I said, "How much is it going to cost me to throw it in your dumpster in the back?" He goes, "It's on me."
DL, if you could be present for the recording of one album, what would it be?
Wow. That's a great question. Oh, I mean, all right. Would it be Steely Dan Asia? Or would it be Physical Graffiti? I think I'm going to say it would be Physical Graffiti. I would like to watch Physical Graffiti be recorded. Obviously, the new songs, because it's 15 songs on the album, and I think 9 of them are new and 6 were done from earlier albums.
I think I would do something like Dark Side of the Moon, just to be able to like hear. Yeah, I mean, because it's such an early into like all that experimental stuff, to get like the different sound effects and things. I think that would be cool to see how a lot of that was captured.
You'd have to be high off your balls, because everybody there would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
have you seen the Pompeii, where they're showing scenes from where they're making Dark Side of the Moon, and they're all like, they're all so stoned.
I bet, man. I guess I'd rather do that than like go and sit in on the recording of Dirt from Alice in Chains. I have to be on heroin, and then I'd die like a year and a half later. That'd be bad news. I don't want to be on heroin.
Yeah, I tell you, another album I'm overlooking would be Women and Children First by Van Halen. Just to watch them track that, because it's probably almost all live as it is anyways. Yeah, Zeppelin 3 would be a cool one. Sticky Fingers for sure. Although, was Sticky Fingers the one done at Muscle Shoals? Or was it the one after?
Yeah, no idea. Any of the Daniel Lanois recordings, like So or whatever, would be.
Oh, Peter Gabriel's
amazing.
So would be a great one.
Yeah, just I think anything that really highlights like a lot of like really state of the art recording stuff would be
Alan
cool to see.
Robinson comes in with Back in Black. That would probably have been a great one. Plus, you'd be on
Absolutely.
vacation in the Bahamas. How can you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
Right? Back in Black would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we're going to record again today. Okay, guys, go have fun. It's fucking beautiful here.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. That's a great question, by the way. Good one, Tom.
It would be cool to see certain things. Like, I would like to see certain producers work more than the actual albums. I'd like to see Terry Date work. I would like to be there for the recording of any of the Kiss albums. And by that, I mean, no. I wouldn't.
If you could be there for any classic rock artist's hairdressing session, which one would you want to go and see?
Let's see. Tom Petty or yeah, how about this? What's the most overrated album of all time?
Anything
Which is,
Radiohead.
anything Radiohead. That's interesting.
I hate Radiohead.
Wow.
I'm gonna
I
get
like
in
a
trouble
few
for
songs.
that.
I can't say any album I've heard anyone go, it's the greatest album, but I understand.
If there was a sound, if you could say, like, can you describe the sound of Pretentious? I just think that that's what that sound would be. It would be Radiohead.
You think more so than Coldplay?
Oh, I honestly don't think of Coldplay.
Oh, I think they're more pretentious than Radiohead.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think, like, whenever you're talking to musician types, like, they're always, oh, Radiohead's the greatest band of all time. It's like, what? I still don't get it. I don't think anybody likes Coldplay except girls and, like, 15 years ago.
Okay.
Appetite for Destruction is overrated.
Wow. Wait, Alan, are you saying any Van Halen after the first one is overrated? I disagree with that. Well, because I think Women and Children is their best album. Nickelback, nobody's mentioned. You know what I think? Like, I'm talking about like an album that's put in high regard. Well, Nirvana's a band.
Yeah. If
you
you're
think
saying
Nevermind is overrated?
I don't think Nevermind is overrated because Nevermind literally killed an entire genre of music single-handedly.
I think the songs on the album are good.
Yeah, Nevermind had historical significance at this point in time.
But I think
Literally
it's a good
killed
record. I don't think it's the greatest. I don't think I understand what you're saying because people do put in like Rolling Stone top 10. For me, what is that album by
DL.
Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde? What is that? Is that what it's called?
Why don't we just
Anything
say
by Bob Dylan to me is overrated because it's like in the Rolling Stone top 100, he has 11 albums. He wouldn't get one album in the top 1,000 records that I like.
DL, what about anything that the Grateful Dead did?
Horrible. Horrible. But see, the thing about the Dead is most even Deadheads are gonna bullshit and be like, dude, it's about the 72 down in they name some show that was recorded live. I don't care. But they don't know, nobody has they don't have an album where everyone's like, this is the Grateful Dead album you have to have. In fact, they always tell you got to get the Shakedown Street greatest hit, or Skeletons in the Closet, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
What is the third album? Is that the one after Nevermind with Heart Shaped Box?
Yeah, is that In Utero?
In Utero. I think it's a decent record. I don't know if people are saying it's the greatest. For me, there's something to be overrated. People have to really glorify it, like really put it on a pedestal, like Bob Dylan, which I think sucks. And people like, you don't get the significance. Yeah, I get it. Every time I hear a song, I want to vomit. I get that significance. And I just don't like that. That's not my kind of music. I'll be honest. You ever see the movie The Other Guys?
I love it.
I'm Will Ferrell. I'm driving around cranking Reminiscent by Little River Band and feeling pretty good about it.
There goes the Yankee Clipper. Oh.
Friday night, it was late. I was walking you home. We got down to the gate. Like, to me, I'm listening to that, and you could throw it. I'm going to say this, and I don't care how on the edge it is. Bob Dylan doesn't have a song that comes close to Reminiscing by the Little River Band. I'm throwing that out there, folks. Now you come back at me with
Yeah. The Other Guys was so fucking funny. What's the most overrated? Let me rephrase that. What's the most underrated comedy of the last 20 years?
Underrated comedy
Yeah,
of the last 20 years. I
last
think
20 years.
Stuck on You is fantastic.
I have it in my collection.
Fantastic. I think the most underrated though would be Walk Hard.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're both on record with that.
Yeah,
Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, is easily
it's
the most
fantastic.
underrated comedy of the last 20 years.
I don't know that he put him on a pedestal as much as he stated a fact there, Tom, because it did really wipe out when Nirvana came out with Smells Like Teen Spirit. It really threw hair metal into a blender.
It totally did. I'm not even a Nirvana fan. I'm not putting them
Yeah,
on.
John doesn't like them.
I'm not putting them on a pedestal like as in they're the greatest. It's just a fact. When Nevermind came out, people looked at Skid Row and said, never mind.
Yes, Dewey. Oh, My Best Friend's Girl. That's a great song.
And by the way, you said I don't like them. They're all right. They have a couple.
You know what I
songs
mean?
that are-
I'm saying you're not putting them up like I know that you know it's not something that you don't not like them, but it's not like you love them.
No, there's a few songs where I'm like, oh, hey, cool. That song's all right. But yeah, it really did a number. I was in high school because I'm gonna be 40 this year. I was in high school when Nevermind hit, and so what all the young people were listening to at that point in time, it literally changed all of it. Like I remember like loving like Ozzy and Guns N' Roses and all that, and then like people started listening to Nirvana, and then 2 years later, I think '94, it was like Green Day, and then in high school, the whole time I was in high school, it was all freaking grunge and pop punk. That was it. Nobody cared about
Jimmy,
metal.
just check your spam mail, your spam folder because the confirmation comes right away. You think so,
Yeah,
Tom? I don't know if music was because what happens in music, I agree with that, but would it have been so soon? I just think that Nirvana, I think they wrote great songs. I don't, and let me go look up Nevermind.
Well, I mean, I like the argument. I get that what you're saying is that it was ready to, it was fresh for the picking to get taken over. But somebody had to be there to do it. And I don't think that it could have been anybody. 24/7 Spies weren't the ones to do it. And they're quite
no, but they
different
put out
from
a
80s
great
rock.
record.
No, absolutely, but that's my point. In 1992 or 91 or whatever year it is, somebody had to be the one to step in and make that change. And there's a lot of records released that year. It just so happened to be that Nirvana was the one.
You know what I listened to around then that I used to love was Praxis put out a record with Buckethead on guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That was a year later. I love that record. All right, so Nevermind. Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's a good song. It's not great. In Bloom is a fantastic song.
Smells Like Nirvana.
Come As You Are is a good song. Breed's a decent song. Lithium's an outstanding song. Polly is a clever song. It's really I think they're good songs. If you take them down to their acoustic level, I think they wrote good songs.
I'm going to continue to contest this with Tom. I want Tom to come on. We should like actually have like a conversation with Tom because he's every time. Well, I shouldn't say every time, but both times you and I have done this together, he's had great commentary. So Tom, you should come on with us.
Yeah.
But here's my thing with Soundgarden. Chris Cornell had a vocal range that would be similar to, some of that 80s style stuff. He got up there in register, which Kurt Cobain never did. The guitars were a lot heavier in terms of like the riffing and stuff like that, which is also somewhat reminiscent of what was happening with the 80s rock stuff. I just think that Nirvana was 180 degrees different from the 80s rock
Yes,
scene. And
Soundgarden,
Soundgarden
and
wasn't 180.
Alice in Chains are metal bands that grunged it up.
That's what
Nirvana's a grunge band, not grunge metal. They were a pop band that was, in other words, I think like bands like Toadies and Live all came from the swamp that Nirvana built, and nothing like what Soundgarden.
Right. And on top of that, if you want to look at like the style of things, Kurt
But
Cobain had the dirty brown sweater and the hair that didn't go past his shoulders, and nobody else in the band had long hair, where Soundgarden still had the long hair and the shirtless front man, and there was a lot that really was in line with the previous
Metal.
generation. Yeah.
Yeah. And Soundgarden was also, like, I think is somewhat responsible for the sludge metal sound too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
Whereas I feel like Nirvana Kurt Cobain was a tormented soul, but of the Beatles type of ilk. He was, and by that, before you guys all get all upset, that he was writing really clever, nice acoustic ditties that they made into songs.
Mm.
You know, I think at the end of the day, they were pop songs.
And it should be noted that I would rather listen to Soundgarden 100 times out of 100 next to Nirvana.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm a huge. Are you kidding me? I mean, I think first of all, Bad Motorfinger and Super Unknown are a 1-2 punch that's hard to contend with.
Absolutely.
Great records.
And
and then Down
Watch
for the
What?
Upside, I think there's like 4 songs on it that I can tolerate.
Burden in My Hand is on Down for the Upside, right? And that's fantastic.
That's one of the 4.
Yeah.
Burden in My Hand, Blow Up the Outside World, Spoon Man.
Spoon Man was on Super Unknown.
Spoon Man's on Super Unknown?
100%.
Spoon Man's on Super Unknown.
Spoon Man.
What am I thinking? A Pretty Noose?
Yeah, that's possible.
Hold on.
Let's see. Super Unknown track listing. And we get Super Unknown.
Pretty Noose. That's
you're right
what
about. Yeah, you're right about Pretty Noose.
Pretty Noose is the opening song on. Oh, I also like Rhinosaur.
Sure.
Blow Up the Outside. Oh yeah, that. Those are the 4 songs I like. Pretty Noose, Rhinosaur, Blow Up the Outside World, and Burden in My Hand.
Was My Wave on?
That's Super Unknown.
That's Super Unknown. Yeah. Fell on Black Days.
Great song.
God. The Day I Tried to Live. Yeah, they had a
great song. Mailman is a great song.
Sure. 4th of July is good.
Let Me Drown's a great. Oh, 4th of July is awesome. Like Suicide is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we're both Soundgarden fans for sure. Like who's like the foundational band for some of that Nirvana type stuff, like the Pixies?
Overfloater and Tighter and Tighter.
Am I right in assuming that that's kind of one of those foundational bands that sort of laid the track for Nirvana? Would they lay them as like an influence?
Maybe like Husker Du, Bob Mould. Yeah, Alan Robbins says it's in Pearl Jam, and I'm not a Pearl Jam fan at all.
I liked 10 when it came out, but it came out when it's so hard because when it came out, I was like 11 or 12 or whatever, and so it was that point in time where I was very heavily influenced by what was being fed to me. So I liked it then. Now I listen to Pearl Jam and it's not great. I don't love it.
young girl, violin, table. I never
Yeah.
cared for them.
The that whole like group of very successful bands. There was a few of 'em, like I didn't like Stone Temple Pilots or Smashing Pumpkins very much when they were successful. Now I go back and I actually really like Smashing Pumpkins for some reason.
Yeah, and STP was good.
Yeah. Yeah, but Pumpkins for some reason I love. Yeah, the Tom mentions the Melvins. They're absolutely one of those bands that was probably underground and sort of laying that groundwork for Nirvana.
Yeah, but I don't know anything by them, so I couldn't comment on that.
No, but I think they were like early in that scene in Seattle before Nirvana blew up the scene and made it what it is. But
Yeah.
but no, for some reason these days, like man, I really like Smashing Pumpkins. I think they were doing something different in terms of their sound. I don't think they sound like anybody else from that period.
Oh no, they were great. They were great. I mean, I love Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, I think Stone Temple Pilots were uh, trying to capture some of that audience, and some of the songs I love, some of the songs I find a little derivative, but I do like them a lot.
The tone, like the production of Core, that man, that guitar tone is thick. It is so thick.
Oh, I love the one on 4. You know, the one with "Pleased to Meet You." Ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na. Yeah, I'm going down. What the hell's the name of that song? Now I gotta look. It's the first opening song on the 4 album.
Oh, I don't know it, not off the top of my head.
Down.
Yeah,
Great tune.
I'll have to go back and listen to it.
Great
The
tune.
world is a vampire.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Sour Girls on that album too, huh?
Dude, I'll tell you, a song from that era that just rocks my face off every time I hear it is "Know Your Enemy" from Rage.
Yeah,
Dude, Rage Against the Machine. They were different.
yeah, they were cool. It's so funny to me because it's like, oh, their politics are so gay. It's just so gay.
And this channel has now been demonetized. Thank you.
Oh, well, I mean, it's like when you hear, I can't stand when it's like, when you see the ad with Tom Morello, and he's like, "I didn't trust teachers. I did." Oh, you're such a rebel. Oh, you're such a rebel. Faggot.
Dude, you're killing me here.
Folks, if you notice, this is not on my channel. Thank you.
Good Lord. Pruno on 4. I don't know what that is.
It's a song.
Yeah, I don't know it.
4 is a good record.
Oh, it's a song. Oh, I see. Watch
I think
what's
it's
going on.
Jerry
about
was a
Primus.
race car driver, not Johnny. Jerry was a race car driver. I saw Primus open for Fishbone once. They were fun.
Did you know that Primus was in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Oh, they were?
Yeah, they were in the Battle of the Bands.
Going down to South Park, gonna have my
That's
friendly
right.
faces everywhere.
I always wonder if you look at the album notes, the liner notes on Yngwie's first record, the what is it, Far Beyond the Sun or whatever it's called, or Rising, whatever that record's called.
Oh man,
says-
I like Watchmen.
It says engineered by Lester Claypool. Makes you wonder if it's the same Les Claypool.
Of course it is.
Can't be. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a terribly common name.
Yeah. Jerry was a race car driver. I didn't trust teachers. Oh, really? I didn't trust politicians. I didn't trust estheticians.
Tom Knight, I'm going to listen to the guitar tone on Pruno. That sounds like a good idea. That's going to be a plan for tonight. I got to listen to that record. So I don't really
I
know
love
it
that
well.
movie called Pruno. That's Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, Pruno keeps you regular. You listen to that record.
Yeah, Brendan O'Brien is definitely good. Definitely some good stuff. I mean, there was like a lot of great recordings. The reason when I say Terry Date is I would love to have been there for the recording of the album White Pony by the Deftones.
Mm.
I think Terry Date's recording style's really nice and his drums sound fantastic and really clean. And I know he's drum replacing everything, but I'd like to watch it.
Terry Date did the production, I think, for the first major Dream Theater release, Images and Words. I think.
Oh, he did Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger.
I'm gonna look that up right now and see if I'm.
He also did Pantera, Cowboys from Hell. Well, Fabio.
The guitar tone on Cowboys from Hell is awful.
Yeah, but that's his amp. What are you gonna do? He also did 24/7 Spies, Strength in Numbers.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Did he do Images and Words?
I'm with you. I'm with you, Watchman.
So, I wonder if he did this.
I didn't trust teachers. Oh, boy. I got to pull a Fred Flintstone. Oh, boy.
Okay, so Terry Date did do the production on Images and Words. And he also did Cowboys from Hell. I don't know if I like Terry Date. You might like him more than I do.
He did Fishbone, Give a Monkey a Brain. He did 24/7 Spies, Strength in Numbers. He did the Deftones, I think all their albums. I think he did Limp Bizkit.
Ooh, I definitely don't like him.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the music. Listen to the production. His production is always good.
But it's like, I don't know if it's just, if you can just say it's the time or whatever, but the production on Cowboys, like, man, it's like so thin, and then like the Dream Theater production.
No, but isn't the drums good on Cowboy? It's the guitars that are thin.
Awful.
Yeah, he did Metal Church.
I don't know. I just think about Images and Words because it's the one I know the best. That drum sound on Images and Words, he replaced all the drums, and it's like drum to drum drum to drum snare.
Right.
Sorry, everybody, but it's like every time the snare drum goes, it's like. And you're just like, what? Why is it so big? It's out of control big. It doesn't even match the mix. But it's yeah, whatever.
I like him.
Whatever.
Who produced Super Unknown?
Super Unknown. Super Unknown.
But Terry Date did Bad Motorfinger. You like that album?
I do. Well, that's good. Producer Michael Beinhorn or Beinhorn, one of the two.
Yeah, it's a good sounding album.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to click this guy.
Is there a guy what did Kevin Shirley do?
Kevin Shirley did the 2011 Mr. Big record.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
He also did Iron Maiden, Matter of Life and Death, and it sounds
Kevin the Caveman Shirley.
Yeah, I think he's done some great records. Let's see what he did.
He's done work with Rush. Joe
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did, what did he do, Vapor Trails?
The Springbok Nude Girls. I don't know what that is. What did you say, Vapor Trails? Yeah, I think he did Vapor Trails, I think. Or no, he did Counterparts.
What's on Counterparts?
I knew that he was different in his sexuality.
Let me tell you.
I'm not making that up. That's the first line of that song.
No, but let me tell you something about Rush. They should have learned something from the Beatles. Never leave your producer. As soon as they left, what's his name that did all those Rush records?
I don't know.
The guy that did Moving Pictures. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Come on. Somebody put it in the comments. They should have never stopped using him. I think they stopped using him on Grace Under Pressure.
So Kevin Shirley did Dream Theater's Falling into
Infinity.
Oh,
it's Terry something. Terry Brown.
Awesome.
Terry Brown.
Awesome. Okay.
What's awesome?
The recording of Dream Theater's 97 record called Falling into Infinity. Really, really good recording. I love that one.
Kevin Shirley did it?
Yes, he did that. And also Doug Pinnick is on it, which you always get bonus points from me if you're using Doug Pinnick on anything. He's the best.
All right, what else did Shirley do?
I'm scrolling. He did the Black Crowes Shake Your Moneymaker. That's solid.
That's the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bow,
Yes, Terry
down,
Brown. Thank you.
Oh, but he only did the remix for the Show Enough box set. So that's I don't know what the hell that's all about.
Okay. What else?
Peter Wells. Everything You Like Tries to Kill You. Whatever that is. He did this Billy Squire, Tell the Truth. Nobody knows what that is.
Not even Billy.
Yeah, no, nobody cares. Billy's career was done after that music video.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
he
the album with
did
Ryan
Frog
Howard.
Stomp. Frog Stomp from Silverchair, which a lot of people liked. I remember that being popular.
Yeah. What else did Kevin Shirley do?
Aerosmith, Nine Lives, Trial by Fire from Journey. A Jackal record. Hey, he hasn't done much. I'm looking at it now.
Iron Maiden's not in there?
No. It's not, he's not credited on this list.
Hold on.
Joe
Iron
Satriani,
Maiden.
Engines of Creation. Oh, he did. Here, hold on. I'm mistaken. I haven't gone far enough.
Matter of Life and Death. He's on it.
He did Iron Maiden, Dance of Death, Iron Maiden, Rock in Rio, Brave New
He
World.
did 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence.
Yeah, he did a bunch of the Dream
That's a
Theater stuff.
great album.
I don't see. There it is. Nope, that's the Final Frontier. Where is it?
He engineered and mixed the
year-
Led Zeppelin Live, How the West Was Won.
What year was that Great Maiden record? Oh, there it is, 2006. Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, Matter of Life and Death.
Yeah, he did that. My mistake. People have
Joe
gotta be-
Bonamassa, Slow Gin. He did
that's-
Chaos in Motion.
Terry Brown. Doug Henning is a great producer of Illusions.
Wait, John said that? John in the room?
Tom Knight said that.
Oh.
Oh, Watchmen. I saw King's X open for AC/DC, and then later at a 40-watt small club in Athens where all the great acts were playing. Blah, 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 blah.
He did a Beth Hart album.
Yeah. I love King's X so much. I can't even tell you. Just listen to that.
He
all
also
the
produced
time.
Iron Maiden's Book of Souls.
Yeah, I don't
You know what
that
I
is,
want to
yeah.
see? Who produced For All Kings?
Oh, from Anthrax? Fantastic.
That's a production wise.
I wonder
That's
if,
like one of my favorite production.
Let's see. I'm pulling that up right now. I think
Jay Rustin.
Jay Rustin, huh?
He also did an album called Rust in Peace. Thank you.
Stop.
Oh, he also produced he produced worship music.
Jay Rustin?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jay Rustin's my new favorite producer.
He's great.
I gotta look at this guy's discography. Yeah, he must be doing some
I'm ready to tell people here, look, Anthrax, I never cared for them in the 80s. I mean, Spreading the Disease was an okay record. Then they got John Bush, and I was like, now I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. They got Belladonna back, and Worship Music and For All Kings are the two best albums Anthrax has ever put out.
They're the only band that I can think of that are better now than they were in their prime.
This is their prime.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but they're freaking incredible now.
All I have
The
to
last two
say,
records are
any of you
awesome,
guys,
awesome.
if you're into metal, listen to For All Kings. Go on Spotify and crank the effing record up. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen any of the videos of Charlie Benante doing cover songs from his apartment?
Oh, no,
Or
hold
his
on.
house or whatever?
Hold on. Watchmen. I totally understand.
Yeah.
I just want you to go to Spotify and go look up For All Kings and click on the song Breathing Lightning. And I guarantee you're going to go, this is a good song.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Anthrax haters in this group. I'm telling you
Yeah.
guys, I never liked them either. You gotta check out this record. The last two Anthrax albums are phenomenal.
You gotta believe in me.
And I'll say this: A Matter of Life and Death by Iron Maiden is better than most of the records that came out in the 80s from them. It's better than Seventh Son. And it's better than Somewhere in Time.
Hmm.
It's a darker record. It's a better Maiden right there. I'm telling you.
Tell me, what did you see? I'm trying to remember the name of that song.
That's on
Right?
Matter of Life and Death.
Yeah. What is that song called?
It's the opening song.
It
Hold
starts
on.
out with Bruce Dickinson going, "Aye." Oh, it's great stuff. There's been a few bands that have had some nice resurgences. I know that I'm probably the only one here that likes Killswitch.
It's called
Engage.
Different World, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm a fan of Killswitch Engage. I like some of that sort of metal, and they released a record in 2016 that was easily 10 years past their last decent record, and it's awesome. Just like really super good. So anytime that happens, it's always a surprise. What is this?
Which one is that? The
Space
before or
Eddie
after the
Frontiers?
Space Eddie Frontiers?
I have no idea what that is.
What is the Space Eddie Frontiers?
I have no idea.
Oh, Final Frontier? No, it's before that.
How about Space the Infinite Frontier with Harry Carey? Saturday Night Live. If the moon were made of cheese. Or no, what is it? If the moon were made of spare ribs, would you eat it?
Yeah, so
It's
Final Frontier
ridiculous.
is 2010. Matter of Life and Death is 2006.
Oh man.
I'm not too familiar with Killswitch Engage.
Yeah, they're heavy. They're a Boston band too. What's his name? The Adam Duck.
No, I think the last Iron Maiden record after Final Frontier was Book of Souls. Watchmen.
I don't know if
I
really
saw the
liked
Book
that
of
record
Souls
at all.
tour. What?
I didn't like that record.
It wasn't bad. It was Dance of the Dead. It's another album filled with songs where you're like, it's Iron Maiden. It's good, but it's
Right.
not. But Matter of Life and Death was like, oh, this is better than good. This is this is phenomenal.
So what's the
Yes, Matter of Life and Death. Eddie's on the tank. Absolutely.
so what's the Iron Maiden pattern? You just gallop and you do 167, 167?
No, well, I think of it as a 6/4/5 because I think of it in the
Okay.
minor, and I always just think of the
That's
one.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
I think of it as a 6/4/5. It's like a 6/4/5 and a gallop.
That's funny. It's their shtick.
Oh,
do it
I
over
love
and
the
over.
Matter of Life and Death. Between Matter of Life and Death and For All Kings by Anthrax, you put those on in the gym and you're throwing weights around, and people are like, hey, listen, do you need a minute? I'll tell you another great gym album is the Slipknot album from 2010. All Hope Is Gone or All Hope Is Lost, whatever it's called.
Yeah. I still haven't spent any time with Slipknot at all. I've heard a few.
Oh, that's a
songs, but-
fantastic record.
Yeah.
America is the killing name. Oh, you got to check it out, Watchmen. You'll dig it. It's a great record. If I could have any singer's voice, who would I choose?
Anne Murray.
I cried a tear. You wiped it dry.
Engelbert
Mhm.
Humperdinck. Oh, that's a great name. If I could have any singer's name, that would be that one.
What was his real name? Wasn't it like Arnold Dorsey?
Oh man, I can't
And
believe
then he
they
changed it first to Jerry Dorsey and then Engelbert Humperdinck. Any singer's voice I could have?
Bill Shakespeare said, "What's in a name?" You
Who?
gonna listen to me? You gonna listen to your
You listen
friends?
to me? Listen to your friends. Well, that's a great bit. I don't know. It depends on what style. I mean, I would probably say I'd love to have Gino Vanelli's voice, and he still sounds good.
I'd love to have Gino Vanelli's hair, chest hair.
Exactly.
Helen Reddy.
I am. Oh, I like Stone Sour a lot too. 3150. I love that tune.
Hey, folks, we're gonna add somebody to the room.
Ooh.
We are adding to the room, and it's a surprise guest.
Oh my God. Look who it is.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Gary?
Good to see you.
You too, man. Long time.
Oh man, what a beautiful wall you got behind you. What you got back there?
Got a couple of Marshalls. I got a DSL.
Oh, I see that. But
this is a JCM 900.
oh, I love that one.
DSL 50, JCM 2000. Mesa dual rectifier version 2 and a crank Revolution 1 Plus.
You know, of all the Marshalls, that JVM 2000 is probably my favorite.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I've just been able to get the nastiest tones out of it, and you know, if I could actually run something that was 100 watts and actually was doing its job, it would I'd probably go for one of those or something like that.
Right. John has one over there now.
buddy.
But
Right there.
I
Right
see
there.
it. Yeah, that was the one that you were running like loaded through that
Right.
through that Bogner. You know, and I swear I thought that was Queensryche, man. Did you,
That little riff.
Dave? Did you hear that thing he did about the blue amp?
Yeah.
I fucking swear that was a Queensryche song I hadn't heard.
Oh, I didn't know what he was playing. I think.
Oh, it's just bullshit. Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh,
it was.
okay.
I was like, "What is this off? No, this is off Rageful
Yeah.
Order." Is this-
Oh, that's my favorite Queensryche record right there.
I love. Oh, dude, Walk in the Shadows was really.
What
good.
you'd say? You through with me?
Oh, it's funny.
Walk in the shadows.
Hey, we're living a dream. Go with
Go with
me.
me.
I love that record. I only dream in infrared.
Only
man.
dreaming infrared.
So for the folks
Yeah.
that don't know this yet, I've got to give a proper introduction, ladies and gentlemen. This is Elvis Simmons right here.
Elvis
I didn't-
Simmons is
I didn't
in the
know when he-
house.
Gary.
I didn't know anyone else was watching.
There's
Oh,
like
yeah,
7.
there's-
No, 13.
Oh, Jesus.
13
I,
of us.
Crowd.
I was just Jesus. That must be. I think I'm a dead fucking.
So
idiot.
also,
I
just
didn't
real
even
quickly,
write.
this is a JCM 900 2501 combo.
Oh,
Line
okay.
6, Hot Rod Deluxe, and a single rectifier 50 watt. I think John had one of these for a minute.
Yeah.
You still have it or you got rid of it?
Nah, it's gone.
You know, I was doing the 11 rack with the Elvis band,
Yeah.
and I liked it. It was good. I mean, I remember that thing that John that you did on it.
I still
But-
have I still have it. I love it.
But God damn it, I went back to my Line 6 Veda 2,
Nice.
and that thing sounds nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got this tone I use for the Hellion Electric Eye that I use for the lead for Memphis Rock City, and it is just horns up
Yeah.
metal. And I know it's a solid state amp. I know it's a modeling amp, but motherfuck.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and I got a Flex Tone 2 4x12. I don't care. I'm gonna lug it to every gig. Just I'll turn the stage volume down. I'll send the DI to the board, but god damn it, it sounds so fucking good.
I'll tell you what's funny is I brought this amp out to a gig once. This
The rectifier.
single rectifier.
Rectum
And
fryer.
usually I bring this. I'll bring the Hot Rod Deluxe, or I bring a Night Train by Vox.
Oh, those
and
were
I'm-
great.
But we were playing like a heavy song. I forget what song it was. And my keyboard player, backup guitar player, looks over at me and he goes, "Dude, I love when you push air."
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
think
oh,
that's
you-
really the secret, you know.
yeah. I
'Cause
was
I
like,
was
oh, you think that? He goes, it's all about pushing here. I love it.
Yeah, that's why I do the 4x12. And I used to have this thing, I called it the war rig. I had four Marshall the 416 412 MGs, the smaller cabinet that went with that cheap, but I had 16 speakers
Wow.
driven by that line 6, and it pushed
Wow.
so much air I could turn it way down. But oh my God, if I made a mistake, I don't know if you know how much you know about the Veda 2, but if you flip a switch, it goes from 150 watts to 300.
Yeah, it's the all metal looking one, right? The head
Yes.
all metal. Yeah, you know.
And
I
I
it's a
swear to
300
you,
exactly. I know that.
if I flip that thing to 300 watts, it is louder than God, and it
Yeah.
will rip with 16 speakers. It will rip your fucking head off.
Yeah, those are loud amps. And
Yeah.
you know what's funny is your band is going strong. You're still doing Elvis Simmons. Obviously, it's been on pause for this for the virus. You're taking a
You're
virus.
driving me insane because I got some great ideas.
Yeah.
Wait till
And-
you hear God of Funk.
Oh, nice. And so what I want to know is I'm at West LA Music. What year was it when you came in with this idea? Was that 06 or 07?
06 or 07. It was about the time I had the idea, but it finally started getting legs around 2008.
Yeah.
When I met Bernie Corrigan, now passed away, but he was working at Line 6 at the time, which is how I got my Veda too.
Oh, okay.
And that's
And
how
I remember you came up with this idea, and I was just like, oh, it's funny. It's one of those ideas that people will talk about and then nobody will do. And then I think at the time, I don't know if you're still there,
there's
but you were
the
at
secret right
you were at
there.
Activision at the time,
Yeah.
I think.
I was.
And yeah, you were, and you were doing, what were you doing? Like sound stuff with like explosions.
I'm still doing sound. I'm still doing sound for video games. I've been doing it for 26 years.
Oh, okay. See how
Yeah,
my
I'm
memory is.
I'm a
I remember our
I'm a professional
conversations.
sound designer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
remember
record
those.
explosions all the time.
Yeah, and then you came in, and I was like, this guy's probably gonna do it, because you were talking about, you were getting into the whole idea with the guitar, and you bought this guitar, and I'm like, and then like a couple of months later, it's like I came and saw you, I think, at the place in Redondo.
Oh yeah, at
You guys-
the Brixton.
The Brixton, you opened up for Dred Zeppelin,
We rolled
they-
Red
and
Dreads.
they came on stage looking like old angry men, which was sad because they were good, but they got their ass handed to them.
I was at
And when
that
you
show.
guys put on such a high energy, I think John, I was with you, wasn't I? At
Yeah.
that gig?
Yeah, I'm sure
It was a high energy show. I think it was your very first gig, if I'm not mistaken.
It wasn't the first. No, actually, our very first gig was at the Whiskey A Go Go.
Okay, I didn't
Which
see
is
that.
weird. No, it was at midnight on a Sunday night.
Okay.
But we actually kind of loaded the place, and I have a little story for you. You remember the cover we did, and we still do. It's a ska cover of "Last Caress" by the Misfits. And
Okay.
we'll fill you in later. You'll never see it coming because the way it starts is actually "Everything Sucks" by Real Big Fish. And Los Angeles, no one's going to smile, no one's going to dance. The fact that they haven't left means they're enjoying it immensely.
Absolutely.
And this one guy with a Misfits jacket was standing there with a beer, just kind of watching us like this with a kind of a sullen face on, which meant he was just thrilled. But then it was I got something to say, and this kid's face just went.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was so funny to watch. That whole set for the rest of that night was for him.
That was unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I think I saw you one other time, and I can't remember if it might have been 14 Below. I can't remember if you played there.
I
Might
don't
not have.
remember a club by that name, but
It was
Anyway,
on the
it was in
corner of
Santa
Santa Monica and 14th Street.
don't
there
think
was
that
a
would be
place
right.
called the Saint Rock that we played at like once.
Where was that?
It
That was in
Hermosa?
Hollywood, right? St. Rock?
No, Saint
Hermosa.
Rock in Hermosa Beach.
Oh. St. Rock and Hermosa.
I know I didn't
Oh,
see
oh,
you
oh,
there.
oh, I know where that used to be on.
It's still there, by the way.
Yes, it's the one that I saw when I told you the guy who played the Spawn. What was that Van Halen cover band that played down there? Diver Down.
Maybe.
Or was it Nerd Halen? Nerd Halen opened up for
Nerd
us
Halen's
once.
brand new though.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't Nerd Halen. This is back in the day. But you're talking about in Hermosa on PCH.
Right on PCH, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a-
yeah.
It's a
totally.
nice club, and the booker is the same booker who used to work
Yeah.
for.
It's
the
like a
Brooks.
quarter of
What
a mile
he's
from,
a great
from
guy.
King Harbor, right?
Yeah,
About a
yeah.
quarter of a mile from. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, really close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's like
wonderful
a thin,
guy,
it's
great
like
club.
and the building is like you go inside and it's not very wide.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's a picture of Elvis coming down that hallway, and it's really ominous.
Oh, okay.
It's almost scary. He didn't seem very happy when he was walking down that hallway for some reason.
How did you like playing the caddy swim? I mean the whiskey.
You know, I actually enjoyed it as a person with a sense of history.
Sure.
I mean, I was like, holy shit, this is the same stage that Frank Zappa stood on. This is the same stage that Motley stood on.
Mhm.
And I actually got on very well with the sound engineers because I am a sound engineer and I could speak their language.
Sure.
And going up in the main dressing room was like, I didn't want to sit on that couch because I'm pretty sure Tommy Lee's jizz is all over it. But other than that, it's like, okay, this place is really cramped and it's kind of sticky. And although I like it, you know, it's up and down. You know, I've played in better places and I've played in worse.
Yeah, well, they're funny because you get in there like if you got a 12 o'clock slot, what'd you play midnight to 12:30?
For our first show, it was
Yeah.
well, they gave us extra time because they liked us.
Oh, okay, because you know they shuffle you out once your set's done.
Yeah.
And so my buddy comes in. He's like, comes in 15 minutes late. We're doing a half-hour show. So he's like, what are you guys playing? The Caddy Swim? Remember that in Caddyshack? Caddy Swim was from 1 o'clock to 1:15. That's the time the caddies get to
Oh
swim in the
yeah.
pool.
That's funny.
You know, that was Sullivan that said that.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's good. I never put two and two together until you said that.
Yeah, so then I always say, like, when you gotta go play the whiskey, yeah, play the Caddy Swim 1 to 1:15. They whip you out. They get your gear out in the street, and you're like, go ahead.
You know,
We had fun. I played there a bunch. I played there many a good nights and many odd nights. But my band, we played there in like from 2001 to 2004, pretty regularly there.
Gary,
You
what
know-
was the name of that band that played there on that Halloween night show? That had shit, I can't remember what they were called. They had penis costumes. They were
Pen
all dressed as
14s.
penises. What's that?
The Pen 14s.
Oh. Was it Pen 15?
Pen 15s. Sorry.
Yeah, Pen 15 is penis.
Yeah,
Yes,
the whole band was dressed up in penis costumes.
Yeah, which is just the
Excellent.
kind of dipshittery that we need opening for us in the future.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But we're actually getting quite the stable of bands that we're starting to try to work with. Like, have you ever heard of the Rhythm Coffin?
No.
The Rhythm Coffin is, well, you're probably at least aware of Lordi, monster metal from Finland. These guys are more of a groovy ghoulies type monster metal. You know, it's the Scooby-Doo version of monsters. And they're a lot of fun. And we've been getting on both personally and professionally. So we're probably going to be doing a lot of shit with them.
So Tom Knight has a question for you. Tom is a guitar player in the Boston area. And Gary, his question for you is, how long have you been with Activision? And are you still with them?
Activision? No, I'm not with Activision. I was with them up until 2012. From about 2004 to 2012, I survived with them for 8 years. I released 5 Call of Duties, and I think they really, genuinely, legitimately tried to kill me.
Now, didn't Franimal Rocky Cola Face work with you?
I
Fran?
don't remember.
No,
You
remember
know-
Fran? She used to work at West LA.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
there was
She did work at Activision for a while, but I can't imagine that they would have crossed paths considering that she would have been in the accounting offices.
yeah.
Oh, really?
it-
I thought you
yeah.
worked the front.
Yeah.
No, I was on the dev team. I was on the Call of Duty team at actually Treyarch. Treyarch,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Activision was actually a completely separate building, and
Oh,
that
okay.
that didn't keep them out of our building at all.
Right.
But
Do you remember that, John? Do you remember the thing she made in the what for her name tag? It said Franimal Rocky Cola face.
I don't think so. No.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. She's great. I still talk to her pretty regularly.
yeah. I rap with her a few times on Facebook.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned the Rhythm Coffin. I feel like years ago, speaking of Fran's ex-boyfriend Roger, I think he was in that band. Like
they've been
10
around a
years
long
ago.
time. I mean, with the first incarnation before I moved to Bend, Oregon for a few years, we crossed paths at the old what was it called? It was a rehearsal place in Hollywood.
Cascade.
Just
SIR?
Cascade that just closed down. Yeah, we crossed paths there. We were like, we should totally play together. And then Bernie passed away, and everything went to shite. And then when I put everything back together, I get contacted by Greg from Rhythm Coffin. He says, "Do you remember us?" And I'm like, "Yes." And this is, "Do you want to do the thing?" And he's like, "Yes."
Oh, that's funny.
And so we did. I really wish you'd have been there, John, because that was one of the ones that crap from Boingo band did with us. But we actually fit all 11 of us on the stage at Viper. We actually did it.
You put 11 guys on the Viper Room stage.
Everybody was standing on top of each other.
Yeah,
Right.
which was hilarious. We've learned how to work with that.
Oh my god.
That's a fun room, though. The Viper Room's a fun
It
room.
is. It is. And
Yeah.
that's another one with history, you know?
I used to
Top.
like it when Metal School played there back in the day.
Oh yeah. I got to sing with them when they were Steel Panther. As a matter of fact, Panther is the reason Elvis Simmons exists.
Oh,
I came to LA to work at Treyarch. And my first release with Treyarch was Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1. And for our rap party, they brought in Metal School. And they always do this. Does anybody think they got the balls to come up with?
Right.
So I got up there and I did Rock and Roll All Night with them, and everyone went ape shit. And all of a sudden, performer guy gets the taste of blood.
Sure.
You know, it's like a shark with blood in the water, and all of a sudden, okay, it's time. And
When
that's
did you move to LA?
2004. I was in Maryland for a few years. There was a big epicenter of video game development in Hunt Valley in the north end of Baltimore.
Okay. I know it. Did you ever
miss
see the Boogie Nights when you were in LA?
Yeah.
That was one of the funnest bands I thought.
That was a spectacular band. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw them when I first moved to LA. They were like around since like 95, 96.
You know, so many of these bands that are just a gimmick, you know, are really way better than anyone gives them credit for. I mean, I look at the guys in Yachtly Crew and think, okay, they're pulling off Toto.
Right.
That is no one's laughing at a band that's pulling off Toto.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Metal
sure.
School did a great job. They were Metal School
And
at
they
the
still
Viper
do.
Room. Yeah, but I think they were Metal Shop across the street at the Roxy before they turned into Steel Panther at the Key Club.
And you know why they changed their name? I think this is one of the funniest things in the world. Do you know why they changed their name to Steel Panther?
No.
Because they signed a bullshit deal for representation. So they dissolved the band. They dissolved the band Metal School,
Oh,
and they just put a new band together called Steel Panther with all the precise same members.
right.
End of
Business
story.
for you.
It was the best thing in the world they could have done. I forget his real name, but the drummer, the guy, his stage name is Styx Zidinia. He's actually really got good business acumen, and if I can save up a couple of beans, I'd really like to consult with them about our band and how to to monetize it a little better.
What was yeah, I'm trying to think of what the drummer's name was, because the original drummer, probably back when you played with, oh no, would that be, oh no, Ray was
The
already
guy's-
well gone.
guy's
Ray
real name is
Lucia
Darren-
used to be in the band in the
Guy's-
early 2000s.
Guy's real name is Darren Leader.
Darren Leader.
okay,
Yes,
Darren.
thank you.
So Ray was the drummer for a long time in the band, and then Ray left, and I used to see him at the Viper Room. So when you came to town in 2004, they were already out of the Viper Room, yes?
Yeah, they were pretty much out of Viper. They were playing the Roxy a lot. Then
Okay.
then they started the metal school residency at Key Club, where
Yeah,
they were
it
It was
still
a metal,
doing-
it was a metal shop though then,
No.
wasn't it?
Then it was Steel Panther, but they were still doing covers. But 10 minutes after their residency with Key Club, they moved over to House of Blues, and that's when the originals phase started, and that's when they became great, in my opinion.
Right.
Because
Oh yeah.
my God, when on Balls Out, that fucking for gold digging whore, that breakdown in the middle, GOLDDIGGINGWHORE.
No,
That I laughed for a half an hour. Over
oh yeah, Tom is saying
WHORE.
Tom is saying Russ Parrish was a great guitar player in the
He
Atomic
was.
Punks. He also, before, he wasn't always the guitar player in the Atomic Punks. In fact, what was the guy's name? He passed away, Brad something. He did a clinic
Bart
for
Walsh.
Bart Walsh was the guitar
Yeah.
player who started the Atomic
Yeah, he was
Punks.
the original.
But what was the guy's name? The Atomic Punks guitar player's name was Brian. He played for David Lee Roth on the Sam and Dave tour. And that's when Russ Parrish took over, because Russ was playing bass in the Atomic Punks. And he didn't go to the Atomic Punks till after Brian took the gig with David Lee Roth.
Well, I know for a fact that Russ was with the touring version, at least, if not the album, of Rob Halford's Fight.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
And
I
didn't he
know
also
that.
play with Paul Stanley's band?
Which one? The Soul Station?
Is that what it's called? I think that was Russ.
I don't know. Soul Station, I thought, was a more recent thing. By the way, I'd love to see Soul Station, because Paul's, the more I get into Paul, the more I learn about how his tastes really go right along with like the stuff that inspired the Blues Brothers. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Taylor, and I love to.
Was Johnny Taylor Disco Lady?
Johnny Taylor was who's making love to your old lady while
God,
you
yeah.
were out
Oh, yeah.
making love to
Oh yeah, totally. I know who he is.
oh, that was good shit. But that's the stuff that Paul grew up on. So I would love to go see Paul Stanley's Soul Station. I really would.
What was Brian? Did you check out what Brian's name was?
I'm looking right now. I'm having a hard time.
Is it your literacy problems rearing its head again?
Yeah, I don't know. There's
He was
not a
after
lot of-
Bart Wall.
Not a lot of very available. Is it Brian Young?
Brian Young. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, John, you were part of
don't
the pilot project trying to translate text into puppets, right? Trying to explain things to you.
Text to puppets. Yeah, I was getting a lot of chemical help at that point in time from the government. Well, it turned out the way I did.
By the way, Dave, I did not know that you are also the fan of one of my absolute favorite bands of all fucking time, and I can see it behind you. You clearly are very fucking Devo.
Oh, I love him.
There are two bands that are just extremely important to me, and that's Kiss and Devo.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Jerry Casale, and when I walked up to him, it was at it used to be called the Microsoft Theater, and I I hated my seats because they were way up in the VIP section, and I wanted to be down there with the the devolved people. But at least I got to meet Jerry Casale, and I said, "Look, I don't want a picture with you. I don't want an autograph. All I want to do is thank you for your body of work, because when I was growing up in a booger ass little town in Oregon, you made a geeky little science kid feel like somewhere out there was a place for him."
Yeah. What do you
And
say?
he was like, "Wow, thank you." It it
That's
it
awesome.
it paused him. It stopped him for a second.
I knew
But I
Bob
meant
pretty
it.
well. Bob used to come into West LA a lot. And you know who else came into West LA was Alan Myers.
Yeah, a friend of mine at Treyarch, Alan, after he left Devo, first of all, his new band was batshit crazy, but
Yeah.
he made ends meet by being an electrician. And this guy, Alan Myers, the drummer for Devo, wired his studio.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. He used to come in, and Bob Casale, he came in, but I met him through Gary Harrison because he was an endorsed by Dean guy. I saw Devo
yeah.
like 5 times. Last time I saw them was at the Henry Ford Theater. And
Wait a minute. Did you see, were you at the show where they did Freedom of Choice all the way through? Because that's what
Freedom of Choice and the one before it. I went to both shows.
I wasn't able to go to both. I wasn't able to go to the other one, but I did see Freedom of Choice. I was
Yeah.
at the same show.
Oh, okay, great. Well,
And I was a little quick insert. I was a little pissed off at Mark because he was reading fucking lyrics off of cheat sheets. I know every word to that goddamn
It was like,
record.
what was it? 2 nights? Oh, they back-to-back nights or two?
Back to
was
back.
it
Oh no, back to back. Oh night. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, because no, he didn't use the sheets. So,
but one of my
so
favorite
they had a
songs
party
was
on the
Mr.
roof.
B's Ballroom. Oh wow.
So here's a funny story. So I used to volunteer for the LAPD and used to do music stuff for the kids. John remembers that I used to take off on Thursdays sometimes with Deemer, and we'd go downtown and I would go sit in these classrooms with kids and talk about music.
He would be
Well,
like,
the guy who
"Come sit on my lap, little girl. I want to talk to you
Yes,
about
the guy,
something."
exactly. The guy who runs the Henry
You got-
Fonda
Did you
Theater.
guys hear that? That was my skin crawling.
So the guy who runs the Henry Fonda Theater is a friend of the LAPD. So Bob calls me up and he's like, "Dude, we're going to Devo." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I don't know what seats we're gonna get." The guy has tickets for us at
It
the
was
door.
GA.
Yeah, well, right. Well, but this was the owner who
okay.
gave us so it was like special. So we get in there, we go. The owner sits there and tells us, "Listen, afterwards, you come see me. You're gonna go upstairs." We're like, "All right." So, anyways, we go upstairs, and there I see Bob Casale, and he's talking to somebody. I'm like, "Hey, Bob," and he looks and sees me, and he's like, "Hey, what's good?" And we talk for a minute. Then the whole band was out there on the roof. They were just hanging out. It was like a roof party for the band. So there was a crowd of people around Mark Mothersbaugh. And I said to my buddy, "I got to get a picture with Mark. It's what I have to do." So I walk over there and I go, "Mark, are you kidding me? What's going on?" And I pretend like and he pushes the other like people aside and gets me in there. I shake hands. I go, "Hey, just look over at my buddy right here. I'm just trying to get a picture." He says, "This is hilarious." And then I said, "Great seeing you. I'll talk to you later at the party." And I walked away. So Dima is also from Massachusetts. He's taking the picture, and this woman goes, "Did you see that guy? He just cut everybody." And he's like, "Ma'am, that guy's from Massachusetts. He's an asshole." But it was awesome because I got to meet everybody, the whole band basically. And I'm a huge Devo fan, huge.
So am I. Yeah, I mean every single.
What's your favorite Devo album?
I still have to say, minus Whip It, Freedom of Choice.
Okay.
And probably my favorite song on it is honestly Mr. B's Ballroom.
Please come on out of there. Please. You're not going nowhere.
Freeze. Put your hands on your head. Number two is probably New Traditionalists, but a close number 3 is actually Blue Hat, Something for Everybody.
Really?
That was a great Devo record.
It's a good one.
I remember before I get this little involuntary, literally jerking back and forth thing when I hear Devo. And all of a sudden, I'm having a Super Bowl party at my place, and this Dell commercial comes on. And
Yeah.
it's fucking watch us work it.
That's right.
And I stopped the party. I laid on the bellows and everybody quiet. This is Devo. This is new Devo. And a week later, I found out that Something for Everybody was coming out, and watch us work it inside out. Don't watch us work it. It was. I love that record. I really did.
That was like 2010, right? That album.
2010,
Because my
2011.
my brother calls me up and he's like, "Hey, do you want to go to Vegas? I got to go to a meeting. I have a work meeting in Vegas, so we can leave Friday night and we'll be there all day Saturday and Sunday." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So we go. We end up we end up at the Rio Hotel, and a buddy of mine that I used to work with back in Boston, a kid from Massachusetts, is a host there. So he hooks us up with a room. Anyways, he's like, "You ever want anything, call me." So I'm walking through and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Devo's playing here tonight?" So I call him up and I'm like, "Devo's
Remember
playing
what you
here?"
just said? Let me tell you what I
Yeah.
want.
So he's like, "Just be at the box office at 7." We went there. I saw that Watch Us Work It tour. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a really good record. You know how so many bands put it back together, like Kansas will reform and they'll record a
Yeah.
record. It's like, this doesn't really sound like Kansas.
Yeah.
But this was a Devo record. I mean,
Yeah, I love Devo. I would say my favorite album of theirs was Duty Now for the Future was my favorite.
Yeah,
Race
Race
of
of Doom. Yeah.
No, Race of Doom is on
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
That's
it's
right.
Devo.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh no, Race of Doom is that New Traditionalists?
It's all of
Race.
everything of
Oh,
the problem I'm having right now is everything in Devo's entire catalog
right.
is on one playlist for me on random.
Yeah. My favorite song off New Traditionalists, by the way, was She's Out of Sync. No, not Out of Sync. Love Without Anger.
There was
Barbie and Ken in a great big fight.
they get home one night.
I love that. Why they have a kick and need it too? Why? I love those harmonies. They do it on Out of Sync also on Oh No It's Devo. But yeah, I'm a huge Devo fan. I love it all.
Yeah. I mean, it was just these people who saw the world differently than everybody else.
Yeah.
And I love
You know who else is really good is Devin Townsend. I'm just kidding, Bingham. I see it.
As a matter of fact, there are two shirts that I've had to have manufactured because I haven't been able to find the product that I want. One is just says "Nope" in impact font. Nope.
Yeah.
But the other one is also in impact font, and it says Devo was right about everything.
Yeah. That's right.
That's fucking true.
We're all de-evolution. The de-evolution of man.
De-evolution is real.
Yeah.
Oh, and
What was
incidentally,
the
speaking of shirts, you need to see this one.
Jedi Priest?
Tell me that this is not the coolest thing in the world.
It is cool.
Yeah, shut up and take my money. Sorry.
That's great.
I had to show you that.
Jedi Priest.
Sorry. You were
Yeah, that's
saying,
what I thought, Tom. Race of Doom was New Traditionalists. That's what I
I
was
think you
thinking.
might be right. But once
Yeah.
again, everything always, yeah, I mean, even Smooth Noodle Maps, you know.
Oh, I love
yeah.
Devo Has Feelings too on that album.
And also Morning Dew for some reason.
Oh, yeah, that was the
same, you know, was really well written.
Yeah.
It's a good record.
Yeah. That's good stuff. It is good stuff.
I need to listen to Devo. I don't know a whole lot.
It's been a part of my life since I was 9.
I know a lot of Dio, not Devo.
Oh, so do I.
Ronnie James Devo.
Right. Oh, that's a great cover.
That's a
band
great
right there.
idea. Actually, a friend of mine came up with the idea of Bell Biv Devo.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, it's another good one.
I have no idea what it would sound like, but the name sounds great.
Right.
Would you take Ronnie James Dio songs and play them as Devo, or the other way around? Ronnie James Dio singing Devo.
That's a
I
hard
would do
one.
the Ronnie James singing Devo songs.
Yeah, but the thing is, there is just I have never ever heard one Dio tribute. Period. Because I
Really?
don't think there's anybody who can fucking reproduce that.
Yeah, I don't. I think it would be nearly impossible to sing
Yeah,
that
that's
with any compelling.
That's a fool's errand.
Yeah, it'd be a hard one.
Because fucking Dio. I mean, my God. Those. I honestly burst into tears the day my wife told me he died, partially because it's one of the big four and I never got to see him.
Yeah.
Because growing up in a booger little town in Oregon, I never was anywhere Dio was, and I never got to see Dio. I never got to see Dio. I never got to see Dio with
Say
Sabbath.
Bend, Oregon. Is that weird? Is that weird?
Actually,
Breedlove
Corvallis.
is based out of?
Corvallis is where I grew up. But
Right.
yeah,
Is-
Breedlove was in Bend. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was trying to think, why do I know that name? And then I'm like, oh, maybe Breedlove was out of there.
Yeah, Breedlove is. That's one of the reasons
I
they're
still
so
got my
good.
Breedlove mandolin.
Because Oregon has exceptional fucking wood. And and the coolest part about Bend, I lived there for 4 years working at a studio there. The coolest part about Bend across the board is the passion of the people for what they do. I mean, if they're going to be, I'm going to be a baker. I am going to be a great baker. I'm
Right.
going to be a brewer. I'm going to make the best beer that ever beered. I'm going to make, and then they're all like that. The chefs, the craftsmen, they're like that.
That's great.
But you get the people for Breedlove who are like that. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh no, I'm going to throw my heart, soul, sweat, tears, blood, plasma. Do I have any other bodily functions I can put into this guitar? And that's why Breedlove is so fucking good.
Yeah, we used to have a Breedlove, John, didn't we? Both of us had one.
A guitar or just mandolin?
No, I think we both had guitars too. Or did I just have that guitar? I bought one of those guitars that they.
I never had a guitar, just a mandolin.
Oh, okay. We opened them, and I bought a guitar from them too.
Yeah, they recently got bought out. Well, I shouldn't say recently. 7 or 8 years ago, they got bought.
Two old
out.
hippies.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's the same as it was. I don't know if they even manufacture in Bend anymore.
I know they do.
They do still manufacture in Bend?
There's something going on in Bend. I don't know if it's
'Cause
all of what it was, but I know it's there.
Yeah, because I think like 95% of what they do now is import. So they might still have a presence in Bend.
I'm sure they
But
do. I mean,
yeah.
well, I know they do. I mean, at the very least, their custom shop or something like that.
Right, that's probably what's left there.
But it could be a little like Schecter in that they take their imports, they bring it in-house, and then bring it up to their standards, then ship it to the distributors.
Yeah.
That's something I always liked about Schecter, actually. It's like, yeah, we manufacture in China, but they don't go to the place until we get our hands on them. At least that's how they used to do it. I always liked that about them.
The let's see. Tom Knight's saying that there's a great luthier making gypsy jazz guitars in Bend.
Luthia Vandross. See, I know how to get John every time.
I feel tired.
Luthier Campbell.
I feel tired all of a sudden.
Oh man. What is this here? Black Mathis. Johnny Mathis covers Black Sabbath songs.
Oh God.
I never heard that with a polka beat.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
That's
Every one of
funny.
these
Tell you what,
sounds
I like
unholy.
Mac Sabbath is a cool band. Have you guys seen Mac Sabbath?
We
Yeah,
played
I
with
opened-
Mac Sabbath.
Yeah, we did. And
Oh yeah, how
they're a
good were
band-
they?
Very.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
The one problem that, and it's a minor problem, but I would talk to them about it, is a lot of their jokes are rewriting the lyrics to have fast food themes,
Right.
and it's very hard, especially. I was paying careful attention to them at the observatory. or what's it called now? Is it the observatory or is it
Yeah, close enough.
the
I think that's what it is.
anyway? I used to know it under a different name, but anyway, the lyrics get really beat up when you put them through a PA.
Right.
So in order to hear the funny parts, I think they either have to do something, carve out a little more room for their vocals in the PA, enunciate them a little better, or even slow down the song a little bit because the funny parts aren't getting through. It's a problem that we have.
I wonder if in that show that we played with them, if Max Sabbath drew that much, or if most of that draw was Metalachi, because they were on that bill as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of that draw was Max Sabbath. They've been making national news.
Yeah.
But Metalachi too. Metalachi has done very, very well building their audience. There's no doubt about that. So it was one of those hellish, stupid. I mean, there was probably 30 people there to see us, and everyone else. I would say 60% of the people there were there to see Max Sabbath. Another 30 were there to see Metalachi, and then maybe 10% to see us.
What a way to relaunch, though, huh? That show was your first show back in quite some time, and it was
our.
What? Well, yeah, but it was what? It was like 700 people, 800 people in house. It was it's crazy.
Yeah, I love playing with other bands because we win fans right, left, and center. I mean, there was a story that I heard from when we opened for Metalachi at the House of Blues Anaheim in front of a sold out 1,200 crowd. One of our friends was taking pictures in the photo pit, and there was a guy behind her going, this guy gives 0 fucks. This guy there gives 0 fucks whatsoever. I have no idea what's going on right now, but this is awesome. I have no idea what this is. I was
that's
so
hilarious.
proud. I was so proud.
That's exactly right.
But every time we're out in front of somebody and somebody else gets a look at us like, oh my God, you got to see this shit. And I got a present like that. I always seeing a band that I really dig that I've never heard of as such a gift. You guys remember Lordi, right? The Finnish band.
Oh yeah.
Who won and if there's people listening who don't know who Lordi is, Lordi, look them up. Blood Red Sandman, so cool. But anyway,
I'm looking at it right now. It's hilarious.
It's fucking great. But we went to see them opening.
His costume
for them.
is almost as good as Randy Marsh's Lord costume.
Yep. So opening for them was Lizzie Borden, but before them was this band I'd never heard of called Stolen Babies. And they were this cabaret goth metal thing that was amazing. It was the drummer and the bass player were brothers who had grown up playing together, and they were tighter than a duck's ass. And it was just Stolen Babies. It was, what a gift that was. It was incredible.
I'm looking at that right now. Very cool.
Yeah, get a listen to them. I mean, I have never heard a drum and bass combo that is so tight, honestly.
I think it's the best when you go to a show and you're blown away by the opener.
Yeah.
That's such a great feeling.
Yeah, especially one that you've never fucking heard of.
Right.
Like, I mean, and that's the thing with us. Elvis Simpson, what, huh? And then you go out talking about us.
Right. I saw a Flogging Molly show once back in Detroit when I still lived there that had a band called Google Bordello open for them.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
uh-huh.
Oh, my God. When Google Bordello was on stage, they were freaking amazing live.
Fucked up gypsy
show.
metal.
Oh, yeah. And it was unbelievable.
You know, I'll never forget the time I first saw the Red Elvises. That was a weird little show that I enjoy the Red Elvises to this day.
Yeah, the Russian guys, they used to play all around.
Oh, yeah.
Used to see them on the promenade.
We are Red Elvises. We are your new favorite band.
Yeah.
The The Red Elvises. Oh my god, I've never seen these guys before. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah,
I've heard the name before, but I've never seen them.
And the thing that was the best is they always drove around in this red van that had the Red Elvises in the kind of pseudo Cyrillic font, and you could see him saying, "Hey, it's a Red Elvis." It was like an Angelin sighting. It's like, "Hey, fuck, it's a Red Elvises."
Angelin.
Yeah.
God, there's an LA reference.
I know. I always used to, when I lived in Woodland Hills, I always used to see it because she lived kind of out toward Calabasas. And
Yeah,
she used
yeah,
to
yeah.
shop
Like
in
West
the area.
Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, and she used to shop in the area where my house was. So I would seeing her pink Corvette as a good luck charm.
Yeah. I don't think John even knows. John, do you know who she is?
No idea.
Ooh.
You came out here and so what, Gary? Did you come to LA back and forth before you moved here?
No, I'd only been here a couple of times doing recordings in about 1996. But the thing is, I knew precisely who she was.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So, John, there was a woman, Angelin, and her husband spent a boatload of money putting her on like billboards all over the town with her pink Corvette, marketing her for what reason. And the only reason why she's famous is she was
Famous.
all over billboard. She was famous for being famous.
Hey, we've got Howie Simon looking to hop on here.
Oh, get him in here. I was
Add a
just talking
fourth.
to him.
We've got a number 4.
All right. There he is.
He's all sideways.
Yeah, he's going to turn that phone.
Come on.
There it is.
2 sideways.
There you go.
Give it a second. It's an iPhone 5S. Settle down. We don't all make John Bingham money here.
God damn right. I'm on the iPhone 7, the modern technology of the 7.
No, I'm on a PC with an actual webcam. I do
Yeah, same here.
99% of the work that I'm doing as a hired gun freelance, so I have to do it with the good old headset, Zoom meetings, and the webcam.
Right. Howie, what's going on, man?
I've been cleaning and throwing away shit all day.
Nice.
I-
That sounds good.
I think I could be on an episode of Hoarders.
Oh, really? It's that
Like-
bad?
Some of it. You know, I used to be in a Metallica tribute band like years ago. Our last gig ever was in 2003. That's how long ago it was.
Right.
And we did a run. It's a long story, but we got invited to go out with Limp Bizkit in the summer of 2000 when they were at like the height of their popularity. It was a Napster sponsored tour. And that was the summer that Lars Ulrich from Metallica was fighting hard with Napster about all the downloading shit. And Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit thought it would be funny to bring on a Metallica tribute band because the whole tour was free to get in. You just had to, and they didn't announce the dates. MTV was following it around. It was one of those things that if you found out where the show was, you could wait in line and just get in until it was at capacity. It was like a whole promotional thing. So Fred Durst thought it would be funny to have a Metallica tribute band open the show sponsored by Napster. And he would come out and introduce it and say, hey, you guys want some free Metallica? Here you go. And we would do like 25 minutes or so at the beginning of the show. Then it was Cypress Hill. Then it was Limp Bizkit. It was a great summer. We were out for a month. I just found, and I did all the business for the band. Besides playing, I tour managed the whole thing and kept track of the bookings and all that. I have a big envelope of all of our tour receipts, hotel bills, like the toll booth receipt. Like,
Time to write that stuff off.
yeah, but I saved it. It's 20 years old. I found all of it yesterday.
That's
Jesus,
that's
what the
hilarious.
fuck is wrong with you?
And I actually went through and shredded it. And as I was doing it, I had this weird feeling like, is this wrong? Should I save this for some reason?
Should I send this to the Getty or something?
I watched that show Hoarders and I'm like, holy fuck, why won't they throw that, open can of beans that they've had for 30 years out that's moldy and has roaches in it? But then I sort of get that mindset. It's weird.
I used to have this one great big plastic bin of cables that I really should save this. And finally, one day after 20 years of serial cables and PS2 cables and oh my God, things that dated back to the late Pleistocene age. Finally, I just took the entire thing, no matter, I didn't care what was in it. I just went whoop, boom, bye. And I never regretted it. Any cable I ever needed again was like, oh, I buy it. $20, big deal. Bye.
Well, if this gives you guys any indication, it's covered partially, but I still have
Oh boy.
my 16 space rack with still wired up, ready to go at a moment's notice. Whoop.
I'll give
every
Bingham
gu-
one thing. He's not a hoarder.
No.
I don't think Bingham's held on to a piece of gear for more than a month.
I have everything I've ever.
hate it.
I still every guitar pedal I've ever gotten. I have the box for it.
Oh boy.
I do that too, but that's only because I'm going to sell it in 3 months.
Brand new in the box.
Right.
The airplane flanger I got from you guys. I still have the purple box for that.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
And when you say you guys, you mean West LA, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a long time ago, man.
God, I miss that place actually.
It's
Yeah,
fun
it'd be.
times, fun
I mean,
times.
we still have True Tone on this side of town, but there's like nobody else no guitar stores in town. Like,
Well,
it's-
Is there what moved into the location of West LA Music? Does anybody know?
It was like a
Yeah.
karate studio or something like that.
CrossFit gym?
Yeah, he made it a bunch of different things. Don owned both buildings,
Yeah.
so
The,
he's renting them out. It's now he's still rent. I mean, he's still making money there.
on the east side of Corinth was the Guitar and Drum Shop, and that's now a CrossFit gym. And on the west side of Corinth, the other corner, it's
Pro
now like
Audio
2 or 3 different suites. Yeah, where Pro Audio used to be. It's 2 or 3 different things. Like,
Hey, and that
Like a-
CrossFit gym, do you think they kept the vault?
oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
So that building used to be with a guitar and drum shop at West LA. That was a bank. And if you remember when you went into the drum department, there was the cymbal vault, which looked like this cool vault where they kept the cymbals, but it was actually a bank vault. It was just too heavy to move out of there. They're not going to move it. It's like one of those, you have to get in there with a crane to get that out of there. It's huge.
then I'm sure it has to still be there.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know what they're using it for though, but
Punching.
a torture room at the Crunch, whatever the fitness place is.
Yeah, they open and close the door.
Howie, somebody had a question in the chat asking, why do you have a scale behind you?
That's funny. This was it's not that sexy of a story. In the old days, they used to, before electric washing machines, they used to have to measure out laundry. So this was called a laundry scale. This belonged to my grandmother. And it was, I went back to my parents and my mom had it there. It's like an antique. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you could, because of my crappy phone, it's got like kind of cool rust and patina on it. And I just liked the way it looked. And
Yeah.
it was my grandmother's. So
Right.
I kind of have it displayed because it's like an old, I don't use it for anything. I just think it looks kind of cool. Again, hoarding.
Other than that, officer, I
Oh,
can't
dude,
explain why
I
it's
think-
covered in coke.
I think I think every one of us has, like, it's been in my family for 3 generations. It reminds me of my grandmother. End of story.
Right. The police are like, did your grandmother do all this blow that's on it?
Yeah, she did an alarming amount. It was enough to actually tip the scales. Hey
Of
guys,
course, her
I'm-
8 balls were always known as being a little light, but yeah.
it's good to see you guys. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go talk to you later.
All right. Hey, Gary, good seeing you, man.
You too, Dave.
All right,
yours.
man.
Up yours,
Catch-
John.
Yeah, fair enough. Catch you soon.
Take care. Bye bye.
Very good.
I'm
All
kind of
right.
forgetting that this is actually being broadcast. It's not just the 3 of us. There's like
Right.
people watching. I better be careful.
Yeah.
Dave already got the
you
whole
already
channel
you already
demonetized.
missed part of the show you wouldn't have liked when John was saying some questionable things about Joe Lynn Turner that I really just felt was unnecessary.
I love Joe Lynn Turner. How dare you? Howie,
All right.
if
If anybody
if you
has
were
any
a Styx
questions for
guy-
Howie live, folks,
I have
please
I have a
feel-
question for Howie.
Oh, here we go.
I cannot see the chat, by the way.
That's
so-
not. That's right.
If-
That's why I'll ask.
If you were a Styx guy, would you be a Tommy Shaw guy or a Dennis DeYoung guy?
I do love Styx, and I actually love both. I'm not going to say one or the other. I mean, obviously, Tommy Shaw's material is a little heavier and more aimed at a rock guitar player mentality. But I mean, the older Dennis DeYoung songs are fantastic. How, for the most part, there's cheesy stuff from both guys. So, 50-50.
Well, we were talking. Have you seen the Dennis DeYoung playing piano from his home? He's playing piano from home. He did
like from like a couple days ago, a week ago.
yeah, the best
Yeah,
of times.
Yeah, I saw. I think he's done a few things. I've seen something.
Yeah. Yeah. John was saying he liked his glasses.
So Tom Knight says that the white residue is Tide powder, not Coke. That's
Oh,
reasonable.
okay. That's
It
what
is a laundry scale after all.
That's the official story.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
Anyways,
man.
folks, if anyone has any questions for any of us here, feel free to ask in the chat.
Actually, Dave has insinuated that if you the way
I haven't
you-
insinuated. I flat out said it.
he flat out said the way that it's actually a litmus test for whether or not you can get into the military.
It used to
is
be.
how you
Now they
answer
let
that
gay
question.
people in the military. But they used to say to people in the military coming in, hey, well, listen, we're not going to ask you your sexual preference. If you had a choice to listen to Blue Collar Man or Babe, what song would you like? I'll take Babe. Yeah, okay, good. You can just stand over here. We're just going to get you some papers. You're going to go home. No, I like both too. I've said it before. I think I love Rockin' the Paradise. I think it's a great tune. I think Grand Illusion's a fantastic song.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But I do like the Tommy Shaw stuff's really good. Although I think on the album Kilroy was here, they both were doing terrible songs.
Kilroy.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
like I
love-
said, that's
Don't Let It
there's
End
good
is horrible. Heavy Metal Poisoning is horrible.
I
There's
love
good
Mr.
and bad from
Roboto.
both guys.
Love
Yeah.
it.
What's
Mr.
that?
Mr. Roboto might be cheesy. I love it. Absolutely love it. The whip sounds. It's so silly. I love it.
Howie, what's the old piece of gear you still use in the studio or live? That was a question from Tom Knight Music.
An old piece of gear?
The
What's the
oldest
oldest
piece
piece
of
of
gear?
That you still use.
Probably my hands. They're pretty damn old. No, I still have. I'll try to do this slowly so you don't get a headache when I'm moving here. And you guys both know already.
Don, when you
but-
met Steve Travato, did you happen to say to him, "Domo arigato, Mr. Travato"? Domo.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah,
That is.
I didn't. I had zero inclination.
My to answer my 72 Cream Strat, which I got around either 1985 or 1986. I know my camera sucks. I can see that it's not coming across. You can see pictures of it on my Facebook or wherever, my
I look at
Instagram.
that, but you got two full Marshall stacks in that room.
Yeah, and I got and then I've
got
got my, you can't see that, my Mezza Barba 212 here, my Mesa Boogie Rectifier 212.
You got a Mesa Rectifier 212.
Yeah,
What does
That's
that
what I used
thing weigh? About 100 pounds?
it's heavy. I don't know.
Yeah.
My
It's
camera
just
works.
cabinet.
Yes,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's why I got Mezza Barba built me one that's lighter and easier to carry around. But again, I don't sell things; I just keep them.
Right. I mean, I got a Mesa single rectifier 1x12, and that carrying that's brutal.
Yeah, I maybe that might be the one piece of gear I eventually get rid of. But I don't know, man. Like I'm sure everybody. Are there people actually watching this right now?
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody here, including you two guys, has that story of, oh man, I used to have so and so piece of gear, but I sold it back then, and I really wish I had it back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Bingham, that's every piece of gear in the world that Bingham's owned.
How dare you?
You
So-
sell it. I'm saying, how many times, Bingham, can you go back and say you wish you didn't sell something?
Couple, not every.
All right. Couples a lot.
Well, I mean, but you guys know that there's that story so often.
Yeah.
And I just never wanted to be that guy. Like, oh shit, I just that there's the hoarder mentality. Like, if I get rid of
Yeah.
it, and it's whether it's music equipment or whatever, if I get rid of it, then what if I need it in a couple of years from now?
Right. Yeah. The other thing is also, it's like, are you going to get the money that it's worth to you? To just, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, I'm not like, I have a box of pedals and I'm like, I could sell them, but no one's going to give me the money that if I ever wanted to use it again.
Okay, I got something right here that I'll sell if somebody wants it.
But here we go, folks. There's the sale.
The
This is
auction.
now
Here we go.
QVC.
The auction block has begun.
Digi
Oh, for
001
Christ's sake.
Pro Tools interface. Does
Wow.
anybody need a Digi 001 from 1999?
20-year-old interface.
Folks, Howie has brand new in a box a digital interface. Digi
Well,
001.
it's not brand new. It's in the box. I saved the box, but it's not
Okay.
brand new.
That was obsolete in 2000. No, I was kidding. When did that thing become obsolete? 2007.
By the time I learned to use it, because I bought it I had a
Right.
guitar student who used to work at DigiDesign, and I bought it, but it sat here for quite a few years because I was scared to learn how to use it. I was still in my 4-track cassette recorder days. And by the time I learned to use it, it was pretty obsolete.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody can see this back here. This Friedman Dirty Shirley, $2,600 up for grabs. 2,600. Just a joke. You pay me 2,600, I'll just go out and buy another one.
Are you guys like at Boutique Amps? Are you guys like secretly open, like speakeasy style, where I can say a code word and get in the back door somehow?
Oh, that's hilarious. No, not exactly. We are shipping some stuff now. There's a skeleton crew in there.
Oh,
That's
really?
Yeah.
When did you guys really? You can do that? Gavin
Huntington-
Newsom, that was
Huntington-
okay.
Huntington Park gave us the go ahead, so we got with strict social distancing measures taking place. So,
Oh, I know a piece of
I'm
gear
not
that
gonna-
I know a piece of gear that you guys. I can't really.
I don't need this anymore. Anybody
is it?
want it? Full drive 2.
I'm here, right, guys?
Yeah, nobody cares though.
I'm not going to be able to.
No, I
show
think I
this.
froze.
Can you
I like this.
can you
pedal.
guys see this right here? This right? Can you see that or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like
kind
a
of.
Furman.
No. This.
It's very dark. What is it?
Yeah, shoot. That is a 2-rack space Kasha Rock Mod 1, the original
Oh,
Kasha
okay.
amps.
Wow, John Kasha.
Is the Rock Mod 1? Is that the brick that they call the brick now?
What do you mean by
it goes in the slot of
No.
the tube?
No, that was a different design. That was that little freestanding 212AX7.
No, this you can't see it, but this is a 2-rack space unit.
Right.
And it needs a little work. I think it needs tubes and probably needs to go through. But if you open it, this was back in the days when they gooped it in the inside.
Right.
But does it go in a tube slot? Is there a line out to go into one of the position one of the tubes or no?
I don't think so. I can't. It's too much of a pain to get to. But I think it's just a regular out, like to a power amp.
Yeah, the thing that you're talking about was later.
Yeah, but I thought he called that the Rock Mod 1 also, though.
He might
Maybe.
have.
Yeah. Whatever happened to John Kasha?
It's a good question. I haven't heard.
Well,
from
he
him
used
in
him.
years.
His brother Bob built drums back in the day, from what I understand. There was
Oh,
Bob
really?
Kosh, and
They
they
remember
they
the
owned
last
a,
amp he built. What's that amp? The evil robot amp that was being made.
that's still being
that-
made.
No, I don't think so. Phil X was using them.
Oh, they're not making them anymore.
That was John Kasha's company.
Oh, I didn't know that. Bob Kasha used to own a music store here in the valley called ABK Rocks, and I was working at another music store. We wound up buying that location and changing the name. He built the drums there. It was in North Hills here in the valley.
His website's still active. If you go to KashaAmplifiers.com, It's still active, and he's got quite a few models on there, including the RoboCabs and stuff.
Anybody watching or watching the rebroadcast of this, I am taking any offer on that rock mod.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, and you know what he calls the heads? Rock mods. Oh, is that what that is? That's a head that you got. It's
it's a 2 rack space rack, just a rack
It's just
unit.
a preamp. He just can't get away from that name. I think that's what's going on. John Kasha just uses the name over and over and over.
That's
Yeah,
probably what it is.
Do you see, John? He also has it's the quick mod is the one that goes in the tube slot is the one I'm thinking of, is the quick mod. And then if you look at the Columbia combo, that's the USA version of the evil robot.
Okay.
Yeah, on the website it says everything's out of stock except for like one thing. I wonder if he's. I have to imagine
thought
he's
he
still
stopped.
operating. I don't know. There's a lot of amp builders out here. Howie, do you know Jens Cruz?
I do.
You ever play any of his stuff?
I have. I actually did some when he was first getting his own signature amp together. I went over to his place and demoed some stuff up. You can hear some of my sound clips on his website.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I had a 5150 modded by him. It was pretty good.
He's a great guy. I like him.
Yeah, he's cool.
Wait, who modded your 5150?
Jens Cruz?
Do you know Greg Leon, Howie?
It sounds familiar. I think I do.
I think he used to mod 5150s up in the Hollywood area.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Greg Leon.
That sounds
Amp
familiar.
Repair.
Like I might know him from somewhere.
What's that, John?
Yeah, there's a guy named Greg Leon. I just Googled Greg Leon, and the second or third thing was Greg Leon Amp Repair.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So it's got to be that guy. Yeah, there's all kinds of guys out here in LA like that. You know, you get Roy Blankenship and obviously Dave Friedman and Reinhold, and there's a million amp builders out here.
Yeah, they got an amp out there called the Marshall. Oh, you got one, John. I see it.
A million amp builders out here, and Howie's
And they're all
finally
making Marshalls.
his finely crafted taste takes him all the way to Italy.
So
That
Howie,
Mesa Barbara.
Howie,
What's the Mesa Barbara behind you? Is it the Trinity?
I have the Trinity and the M0 Overdrive. They're both in cases. One's down in a road case down there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which is which. I just stuck one up there and one down. I got invited to be a part of that. Winger re-recorded one of their songs from their last album and had a whole bunch of guest artists on it the other day. And it's one of those, everybody's at home doing their recording part, kind of like everybody's doing right now for the zombie apocalypse. And I wanted to make sure that was in there for product placement because I filmed right around here. So I got it in the video.
Oh, wait, so the other one's a 2-channel
such a good
M0 Overdrive? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the M0 Overdrive is 3 gain stages across 2 channels. And this one, the Trinity, is 6 gain stages across 3 channels.
Yeah. Which one do you like better?
One of the big differences between the two of them is that the M0 Overdrive is point-to-point hand-wired,
Okay.
and the Trinity passes MIDI through it, so you can use MIDI foot switches to program a few certain changes, and you can actually store changes in the amp, and you can program stuff. But it's a PCB board,
Right.
so at first the M0 Overdrive was a little more open and a little bit more alive, but he's done a few tweaks to the Trinity where you almost can't tell the difference. They're almost like the same amp, except the Trinity has an ultra clean channel now.
Really? That's
Yeah.
good.
I would say, overall, if you have to describe it, the Trinity is just, and I don't want to use this word, I'm just using this word sort of to describe it a little bit, but it's a little bit more heavy metal, and the M0 Overdrive is more hard rock. But that being the case, it's not like a typical metal amp like a Crank or something like that. It's still a hard rock amp. It's just a little bit more metal.
Huh.
They're both amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not just saying it because I've been using them. I'm using them because I like them, and that got me the endorsement, not the other way. I wasn't looking to just endorse an amp because I wanted to endorse something. I've never been that guy.
Right. Now, John, let me ask you that DSL 50 that's behind you. Oh, here's another, somebody else is coming in.
Yep. Paulie.
The 50, what's the clean like? Do you like the clean on it?
I don't use it. I literally set it up with the crunch channel and I don't touch it. I just
Really?
dial back for clean. But I don't like ultra clean anyways. I like
I'm not
the
asking
volume
what you
control with
like.
my
I was
guitar.
asking if you like the clean that's in the amp.
I don't know. I haven't fucked with it hardly at all.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
what happened to Howie?
Hold on one
Um,
second, guys. Hold on.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. What happened to Paul?
I don't know. I'm waiting
Do you
for
know Paul?
I don't know Paul.
Oh,
But
okay.
Paul, if you're listening, you might have to click in the bottom left where it shows like your video camera and your mute icon. You might have to hit those. You should be able to get in. So
You've
I
been
don't know if you see
accepted.
that. Yeah. You are allowed to be here. I do not know. And where did Howie go? He just disappeared. Yeah, so that's so this Marshall DSL behind me, the DSL 50. I think I think it's incredibly underrated. Everybody, including like Friedman and stuff, they're like, if it wasn't, if it was made before 1979, it's acceptable. Anything after that sucks. I think that's a bit too black and white. That amp sounds really, really good.
Wait
You
a minute.
look inside of
Who
it.
says that?
That's a Friedman thing.
Okay.
He's very snobby about it. It's whatever. But if I look inside of it, it's not built like you'd want an amp to be built. Like you look inside of the Friedman, and it's like, very very high quality components. All the wiring's beautiful, and that Marshall is just like it's like
Is he point to point?
it's PC board, but it's all through hole PC.
Right.
No
I mean,
surface
because the
mount or
Marshalls are
anything.
made all like machine, aren't they? They're all dropped in on the PC. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, but like even the tube sockets are on the PC board, and all of the volume controls are on the board. They're not discrete
oh,
components.
in the Marshall,
which
that's
what
how it is.
Right, and I think you
That's-
really want discrete components just for the serviceability and reliability.
I still have my
sure sounds
Friedman.
good.
I have my Friedman Steve Stevens down here too, and it's fantastic amp.
You have a Friedman Steve Stevens?
I do.
Nice.
Stefan's. Steve's a great guy. I've met Steve a few times. Always been very, very cool, which is
Yeah,
nice.
he's very cool. He used to be friendly with Spiewak, and
Oh, right
Spiewak
on.
sent him to me once, and he was like, "Yeah, I want you to check out these." I think Seymour Duncan made him pickups.
Mhm.
I was wondering why he was telling me about it. It was like it took me like 15 minutes to realize Spiewak sent them to me because he was just like, why are you telling me? Like, you know what I mean? He was like just coming up to me going, "I want you to hear them." I'm like, why? I don't even want. First of all, I didn't know who he was. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, this is Steve Stevens.
Has Paul figured his shit out yet? I don't think so. Paul, I'm gonna boot you because you don't know what you're doing yet. When you figure it out, come back in. So Howie, are you around? Can you hear?
I'm getting a drink.
All
All
right.
right, fair enough.
Beverage.
Now I'm back.
All right,
got,
so there's a chat room question.
Can you see this right
Oh, yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Crown Royal.
This little
That's it.
bottle is from the mini bar at the Hard Rock in Vegas the last night it was ever open.
Wow, cool. So Howie, Tom Knight is asking, where did it go? How did you get hooked up with Mezza Barba?
Does anybody here know JP Cervoni, who's the American liaison for the company here in LA?
I know who he is. I feel like.
Okay. JP's been an old friend of mine for a few years, and we both appeared at some jam thing. I'm going to flip this, so I don't want to give you a headache. We both appeared at a jam thing related to the NAMM show a few years ago. And it was a jam where you just show up with your guitar, but JP brought an amp, and I think I laughed at him, like, what are you doing bringing an amp to? And he's like, Howie, you got to try this fucking thing. It's so great. JP, that's it's pretty good. And we got there early, so I had enough. There was nobody, like the doors weren't open yet, so I plugged into it for 30 seconds, and I literally, my jaw was just like, oh, what is this? He goes, I'll get you one. You like it? I get you. We need guys. And within 6 months, his was kind of like a prototype, but within 6 months, I other than JP's prototype, I had the first M0 overdrive in the States.
Wow.
And just through the years, they just sort of brought me in as the main endorser for a while. And anytime there was a new product, or the owner bounces a lot of ideas off me because I used to work in music retail like you guys way back when, and JP, although he's lived here a long time, he's still an Italian, and he thinks Italian, but they needed a guy who sort of thinks American in a lot of ways. So I kind of became part of the family for helping out with consulting type stuff. And I mean, I truly love the product. Like I've given equipment back when companies have said, why don't you use this? And I'm like, I don't like it. Thanks for, letting me try it, but no thanks. But these amps are just so incredible.
For people out there who aren't familiar with Mesa Barba, is there another amp out there that you could like kind of refer to and say, oh, it's sort of like this, that maybe they have heard of? Like, would you compare it to like a Hot Rodded Marshall or a Soldano?
Yes.
Or what?
The whole Pier Angelo Mezza Barba, it's his last name in case anybody's wondering. And he is a guitar player himself. The company's based in a city in Italy called Farnese, which is 150 kilometers away from Rome. So he's a huge Jimmy Page and David Gilmour fan. In fact, he plays in a big Pink Floyd tribute in his area.
Oh, cool.
And he owns a 69 plexi head. And this whole thing was based on when you put a really good distortion pedal or overdrive in front of a 69 plexi and it just sings. That's what the whole M0 overdrive was based on. Like a really, really perfect hot rodded Marshall.
Right on.
Tom's asking if you ever played at the bowling alley with Nuno.
If I ever played
at the bowling alley, the Lucky Strike in Hollywood.
I used to do that all the time. I don't do it anymore.
All right. Tom, what is Nuno? Is Nuno at that jam all the time or something? Or is he just a guest there?
Oh, with Nuno, I didn't hear that part of it. Yeah, I mean, I know Nuno. I've never played with him there. I played with him at other stuff. We just both played a drunken, goofy acoustic thing at Richie Kotzen's birthday party. That's where I got this bottle of Crown Royal when we were at Richie's birthday. I feel like I'm dropping names. I hate that. But
yeah.
I don't do any of the jam nights anymore here. I used to. I just don't do them anymore. Well, right now nobody does them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I try not to name drop. My good buddy Bobby De Niro told me that once.
Oh, Steve says
you guys watch watch the podcast with Steven Schirripa and Christopher what's his name? Imperioli, Michael Imperioli. I mean,
who?
The two guys from The Sopranos.
You just went from Chris Impellitteri to Michael Imperioli. They're two.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting there trying to, because his name is Christopher on The Sopranos.
So for a minute.
Well, anyway, they do a podcast, and I guess Steven Schirripa was sitting there ripping on De Niro, saying he was an asshole. That he, like, I don't know. He was like, they have a podcast, and I guess Schirripa has been outing some Hollywood people. It's a Sopranos podcast. You'd have to watch The Sopranos.
Yeah, no idea.
Okay, Tom says, yeah, he's been there.
I need a drink.
Yeah, I've only dealt with Nuno once, in LA. And I can't say anything nice about him. That's just me. Other than that, I don't really know him, but he was a dickhead.
I never met him.
Well, you know how he's from Boston, and you know how Boston people are.
I do.
That's solid.
I do. But usually I can tell if they're like somebody had told me I think he was having trouble back then, just like 2004.
So what are you guys gonna do now up there, Dave? Are you still gonna be a Patriots fan, or are you gonna root for Patriots South in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, no, I'll be a Pats fan. I don't care. Brady left, let him do his year or two, whatever he's gonna do there.
Sure.
Gronkowski comes out of retirement.
I thought Gronkowski should have retired 3 years before he did. He's candy anyway. He's always injured.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, not my favorite.
So
more like
he's from my hometown. He's from Buffalo.
Oh, he is?
Gronkowski, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point of that Brady move? That's just a last minute money grab. Just saying a little more security for my family. I'm going to take the millions.
Oh, no way. New England would have given him whatever he wanted.
No way.
That's what I kind of think.
I don't think so.
But it is a weird move. I don't quite get it.
It's strange. I think he wanted to move to Florida, and therefore he's going to retire down there, and therefore you may as well do it and get another year or two out. That'll pay for the house.
Yeah, maybe.
The thing that I read, I don't know if it's true, is that a couple of years ago there was talk about them possibly trading him, maybe 2-3 years ago, and he got pissed about that. So he maybe in the back of his mind knew that as soon as his contract was up, he was out of there.
Yeah.
And I mean, whatever, I'm sure any team really would want him, because whether he's gonna be a playoff caliber guy again or not, doesn't matter. He's gonna put asses in seats all season long.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
he's the draw really in Tampa Bay now. So they're guaranteed to sell out every home game.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting for sure. I think also, like I said, I think he'll buy a house, because when he played for the Patriots, he bought a house in Beverly Hills, sold that, bought a house in Arizona, sold that, bought a house in Massachusetts. I'm sure that's going up for sale. May as well go to Florida.
You know what the Lions are going to do this year?
Lose.
Yeah, they're going to start off like 3-1, and people are going to get excited, and then they're going to go like 4-11 for the rest of the season, and rinse and repeat. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes there. The Bills are poised to possibly win the AFC East now that Brady's gone.
Yeah, they had a decent team the last couple of years, if they can get it together.
Yeah, won't they find a way to blow it though?
Probably, but at least they made the playoffs. 2 of the last 3 years they made the playoffs, and that's better than it has been. So I'll take that.
Yeah, sure.
Was it last year or the year before they beat the Patriots their first game, and then they came back and then they lost game 2?
Year before, I think.
Yeah, they were a decent team that year.
They're still they're a good team now,
yeah.
And they had a good draft, and they just traded. We didn't have a first-round pick the other day because we traded the first-round pick to Minnesota for their top wide receiver. His name is escaping me right this second, but we got a really, really good wide receiver now, and with no Brady, it's up for grabs there.
Oh yeah, no, I think the Pats are going to be they're scrambling. I don't know who they got for a quarterback or who they're talking to.
I don't know either. I do think, well, this is all provided that the NFL actually goes on, but I do think that New England is scheduled to play Tampa Bay this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did I lose you?
I was just sending.
Oh no! I was reading something in the chat that John was writing.
Yeah, people are
somebody was asking about his name.
How about the Sabres? What's going on with the Sabres right now? Are they looking good? I know that's your
Well, the
real
good
heart and
news is-
soul.
The good news is they have not lost a game in months.
Right. Oh man.
I don't want
Interesting.
I'm gonna get bummed out. I don't want to talk about that right now.
You know what's really funny about all of that is I think people in Michigan have given the fact that the Detroit Red Wings were losing every single game of the season. I think that they were more forgiving and more patient with the fact that Yzerman is the new GM there than they are with Meg Whitmer and the lockdown from coronavirus. They're like,
Well, look,
we
he
don't
built-
want to. We don't
he
want to
built-
we don't want to sit around while we could be catching a virus. But you know, Yzerman's got time to rebuild. We're good.
Look, he was instrumental in building that Tampa Bay team to how
Sure.
great it is. Wait a year or 2 or 3, and you know he's going to turn. He obviously loves the fact that he was a Red Wing. You know, all those years. Did he? I can't remember. Did he play for anybody else at the end or no?
No.
Okay, so
Start
I
to
mean,
finish.
he has a love for that team. He's going to turn it around there pretty quickly.
Yeah, I imagine so. I don't know if it's, you know, anytime you see a team, even if it's like a young team or not a great team, when you lose that much, I think it's a coaching problem. If you're losing that much, it's got to be a coaching problem. People just don't want to play for the guy. You can be.
Well,
I
I don't know.
can't
I used
fathom
to
otherwise.
I used to think that, but speaking of the Sabres, they're the perfect example of how that might not be the case, because they had a pretty talented lineup on paper last year, and that Phil Housley was the coach, and the end of the season they fired him, and you know they got they've got a weird pick for a coach, a guy named Ralph Kruger, who he coached the Oilers like years ago, but the last 5 or 6 years he was coaching European soccer in Germany or something like that. And they brought him in, and you know, same group of guys who are talented on paper, and we weren't going to make the playoffs again this year. So is it? I mean, the coach is not on the ice. He's not.
Right. Sure.
You're listening to Hockey Talk.
Sorry. Let's get back to
it's all good.
let's
It's
get
good.
back to gain stages and all the exciting music stuff that everybody loves.
Howie, what's your favorite resistor value for your cold clipper?
Oh, jeez.
Right. Oh, that's what people are tuned in for. That's why there's only 17 watching.
That's right.
Well, there's a lot of other people actually playing music and kind of putting their PayPal and Venmo links up right now, asking for donations.
Sure.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Boy, we are running on 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I think I'm done, folks.
What?
Just
I
'cause
thought you just started at 9:00.
Pacific. No, what the fuck am I saying? East Coast. It was.
I'm
6
looking.
o'clock.
I just sat down at my computer screen. It says tonight at 9 p.m. That's
that
all
what
you
DL
wrote.
Is that what DL wrote?
That's what Dave wrote. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I'm 9 p.m. Eastern. I mean, yeah, Eastern.
Oh, for God's sakes.
You guys can pick it up on Dave's channel. I've been here for 3.5 hours. I'm dying.
We've been here 4 hours, John. If you look on the top, I don't know if you have the
No, that's true because we were on just before it.
yeah, we're at 4 hours and 1 minute.
Holy cow. Oy.
We'll have to do this again. This was fun. Boy, Zoom is a lot better, huh?
Then
I told
Skype?
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 1,000 times better.
It's better than StreamYard too.
Yeah, it's going good. All right. David, Howard, I'm going to check out here, fellers.
All right, very good, everybody.
Gentlemen in the chat, thank you guys for coming through. Get your cameras hooked up next time.
Thanks for having me, boys. I'll send you the bill in the mail.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Leon Todd's here. What's up, man? I'll be talking to you tomorrow, buddy.
Aussie rules football. I never watched it.
Nah. No idea. All right, gentlemen. I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
Bye,
everybody,
Rick.
have a good night. Take care.
See
Later,
ya.
guys.